Under the dome today, the undefeated New Jersey Generals with a record of 3-0, the Houston Gamblers 2-1. Meet. It should be an entertaining football game, and it's brought to you by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis. Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Dodge, official cars and trucks of the USFL. By AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by Sears, where you'll find great values, great service, and great selection. You'll find the things that make life worthwhile, because there's more for your life at Sears. Well, under the dome, the first home game for the Houston Gamblers, one of the 6 new teams in the USFL for this second season, playing in the Central Division of the Western Conference. They have won 2 of 3 games on the road, and they do move that football around. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. The New Jersey Generals come in with a complete turnaround story for 1984, their second season. They are now 3-0 and sitting on top of the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference. And the big news for them today is their quarterback, Brian Sipe, is now shaken off the effects of minor knee surgery, and he's ready to play. Earlier, Mike Berry talked with Brian Sipe about today's game plan.
Well, I'll tell you, our defense has been playing absolutely super, and I think all of us would like to not put them in any tough spots. So if the running game is working well today, I'm going to use that as much as possible. But I don't believe you can come out and run on, just run every down on anybody anymore. I hope to keep them loosened up with the pass and also threaten them with the big play from time to time. But we're going to find out very quickly if our running game is going to work for us today.
With Lynn Swan, let's underscore what he said about the defense. Swanee, those 4 linebackers are really playing well.
They are superb. Jim LeClaire, Bob Horn, Willie Harper, and Bob Leopold have all anchored that defense and led this team to victory to make them 3-0. Special emphasis, of course, on Bob Leopold, who has 3 interceptions, and against the Jacksonville Bulls, 2 of them led to touchdowns. One, the offense took over and scored, and on this one you'll see here, he takes it in for the score. The 4 linebackers who start have a combined number of 37 years of experience in this ball game. They give that defense confidence. They're never out of position, and when the ball is thrown, misthrown, they always come up with it for the big play. And last week against New Jersey, there was nothing changed. Leopold intercepted one at the end of the ball game.
Of course, you need a little luck, too, to stay undefeated. Now, here's Philadelphia last Sunday driving for a position on the field to perhaps tie with a field goal. Late in the game, Willie Collier has the ball, ready to put him there, but he dropped it, and it was a turnover.
Unfortunate mistake. You have to have luck. Any team that gets to a championship has to be lucky, and so far it's been on New Jersey's side.
And don't turn it over. Now, you can see here that New Jersey sits with a turnover ratio of +9. That's 6 more than any other team in the USFL.
Well, going into the game, into the season last year in the 3rd game, they had already turned the ball over 13 times, the Generals had. But now they're +9, which means not only are they taking the ball away from people, they're not turning it over.
The Houston Gamblers, like the other new teams in the USFL expansion, have come out throwing the football. I mean, they will really put it in the air for you. That old great Aggie, Jack Pardee, who was an All-American, an All-Pro, and a former coach in the NFL, coming back to Texas to coach the team. And he says this about the offensive philosophy of the Gamblers.
You know, we throw the ball so much that, unlike a lot of teams, we use the pass to set up the run. If they get worried about Jim Kelly rolling out and they widen their ends, it'll open up the holes inside some for Sam. But we don't just line up, and if they have two linebackers and a line stacked up inside, we don't have a blocking scheme to handle it. So we have to scatter them for Sam to run.
Mouse Davis is the offensive coordinator for the Gamblers. He calls his offense run and shoot. Quarterback Jim Kelly has a lot of options working out of this offense, designed obviously to exploit what the defense is giving it and capitalize on Kelly's strong arm. Makes him work a little harder, but Jim Kelly likes it.
He brought this offensive in. I was a little leery at the beginning, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. We're leading a league in total offense, passing, number 3 in rushing, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Just hopefully, I stay healthy. Our offensive line stays healthy. That's number 1, and receivers keep doing a good job catching the ball.
Swanee, I don't know if Jimmy's voice is going to last. He's got some polyp trouble in his throat. How about the speed of these wide receivers?
It's phenomenal. All the receivers on this football team have been clocked in 4.5 or better. Most of them are running in the area of 4.4. They've got speed to burn. The small little kids, it reminds you of just, well, like Billy White Shoes Johnson, Nolan Smith, all under 5'9".
But they can flat move it. Here's a big guy now, the hammer for the Houston Gamblers. is a big running back named Sam Harrell, who came here after sitting around 2 seasons at Minnesota, and he's having a heck of a season.
338 yards. He leads all running backs in the USFL so far this season. He looks more like a wide receiver, but once he gets the football, he's a totally different kind of player. He has excellent strength, as you see there, breaking through 2 tacklers. He has good speed. He's a quiet man off the field, but on the field, he is explosive, ready to play, and show the football world what he can do.
200 yards against Chicago. I would say basically this is what we're looking for this afternoon. We're looking for a lot of scoring if the Houston Gamblers are to win the football game. The New Jersey Generals, if their relatively conservative offense and their tough defense makes it work, then they should win the ball game. We'll see.
National Football League veterans that come in here tell me that people like Brian Sipe and Jim LeClaire, when they came in to play the Oilers, there was no dirt. It was all covered. Today, the players are going to go from the dirt onto the turf. Then back here at the 15-yard line on both sides of the field, they'll have to turn their cleats here, the rubber cleats, go into the dirt, and it's going to be real tough, not only for the footing, but the timing, because the receivers, when they hit this dirt, are going to stop dead. Keith?
Thank you, Mike. It looks a little tacky, and it's going to be a little difficult. Swanee, you've had to work in circumstances where you had to run off underneath the pass from the rug onto the ground.
Well, and every time I've had that kind of situation, I've always tried to use it to my advantage. You have to think while you're out there on the football field and try and put a defensive back on the bad spots of the field and try and avoid them yourself. But you can't overthink about it. Sometimes in a wet field, conditions aren't just right. You tend to give it too much thought, and you don't try, you don't put out the effort. You're a little tentative. What they're going to have to do out here is just play their game, see what the differences are, and then take advantage if there are drastic ones.
Roger Ruzak, who won the game for New Jersey last week with a field goal against the Philadelphia Stars, will kick it off. Calvin Eason, 34, and JoJo Heath are the deep people for the black-shirted Houston Gamblers, their first home game of 1984 in their first season of the USFL. And Ruzak's kick is a high sailor that goes way back in the end zone, and they're going to leave it there. Calvin Eason, a rookie out of Houston, does not return it. And so the Gamblers will come up first down at their own 20, opening this way with quarterback Jim Kelly, big rookie out of Miami, Richard Johnson, Sam Harrell, Gerald McNeil, and Greg Moser. Now, Harrell is the lone running back. Everybody else functions fundamentally as a wide receiver, or in this offense, they call them slot backs. The offensive front for them, big people up there. They've got Brian Dawson, 260, Scott Boucher, 250, Carl Allen, 250, Frank Khalil, 260, Tommy Robinson, 285. And here we go with the first snap for the Houston Gamblers. A passing team, fundamentally. Kelly very quickly goes to the air, and Ricky Sanders, number 80, a slot back or a wide receiver sometimes, can't come down with it as the pass was thrown a little bit behind him. The defensive unit for the New Jersey Generals, Lockett, Woodland, Madsen playing up front, and they're good ones. The 4 linebackers we talked about, Harper, LeClaire, Horn, Leopold. The secondary led by Gary Barbaro and now joined by an NFL veteran, Terry Justin, starting ahead of Terry Daniels, Mike Williams, and Gregory Johnson, the other corner and safety. Second down and 10 for the Houston Gamblers. And Kelly on a little roll comes out of the middle with it, and his pass is incomplete. Pass was intended again for Ricky Sanders, number 80. Ball seemed to float away from him a little bit, and so Kelly now has missed his first 2 shots with it.
The ball just floated away, but the point should be made. The speed of the receivers, again, they were quickly deep into the secondary, putting pressure on both the corner and the safety, spreading them out.
He was 22 yards downfield by the time the ball got there. Gerald McNeil, number 13, comes off the picture, only weighs 140 pounds, but boy, can he haul it. Laid it Baylor. On 3rd and 10, Kelly gets a little pressure, looking for some help, and gets a little help. Now his pass is off, and his pass is complete up at the 29 to Ricky Sanders. That leaves him a yard short of the first down, and Houston will have to kick it away. James Lockett was chasing him all over the place with some help from Freddie Gilbert.
When discussing this defensive philosophy coming into this game with Dale Lindsey, what he feared was, of course, Kelly being able to scramble with the pocket moving around, him having too much time. He said he's got to get his people upfield to contain him and also cut off his avenues of escape.
Dale Walters is out to punt, averaging just over 36 yards per kick in 3 games. And there's Mike Williams with his statistics on his returns so far this season. Mike is a veteran, and he's standing, respecting Walters, well downfield, inside the 25. So on 4th and 1, Houston takes a 5-yard penalty. It looked to me like the clock expired. They certainly didn't need to back up 5 yards. There must have had some kind of mix-up in communications because there was no reason for it. The officials for today's ball game listed there. Don Wilson is your referee. Dave McCullough, Stuart Ross, Gaylord Bryant, Bill Fetty, Grover Clemmer, and Bill Schmitz. 7 officials this year in the USFL. And now Walters backs up inside his 10, which moves Mike Williams up outside his 30. New Jersey should get pretty good field position. The kick is out. Pretty good kick. Kicks it away. Chases Williams back to the 25 where he dropped it, but now he covers it. That was a very good hanging punt, and he chased him all the way across the field to get to it, and Mike didn't come up with it cleanly. It's a 51-yard kick.
He had a lot of time to think about where he wanted to run with that football. There was no one near him. He just took his eye off the ball and dropped it. But now the story becomes the offense for New Jersey and Brian Sipe.
Coming off knee surgery, arthroscopic surgery, and he says he feels like he's 100%. Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthen are the setbacks, or the runners. Tom McConaughey and Clarence Collins, the wide receivers. People up front are Mackey, Lapham, Hull, Harris, Millard, and Sam Bowers, the tight end. Now Walker goes up into a slot, leaving Carthen back there by himself at the pitching mound, and they send Collins in motion. And they go to Carthen with it, bounces off the stack, and turns it from the 27 up to about the 31. Calvin Eason, rookie out of Houston, and Mike Mitchell, a rookie from Howard Payne, made the tackle for the Gamblers. The defensive unit for Houston lines up this way with Pete Caton, Tony Fitzpatrick. Tony played on that Miami championship team with Howard Schnellenberger last year. Cleveland Crosby, defensive end. Andy Hawkins, Ricky Young, Mike Hawkins, and Kika Diala. And Kiki, of course, quite well known in this part of the country, a great one from Texas. Mike Mitchell, Will Lewis, Calvin Eason, and Donald Dykes, the secondary. And the secondary's been picked on. Vince Evans went to town against them for over 300 yards in that high-scoring game with the Chicago Blitz. It's 2nd down and call it 7. And this time it's Herschel Walker, hit short of the 30. And leading the charge, it's Kiki Diala, the big outside linebacker from Texas.
Ricky Young also did a great job on the play. He came in, took out Maurice Carthen, so he had no lead blocker to get to the hole. And everybody else came in, Kiki Diala and company, to make the stop on Herschel Walker.
The ball is spotted just short of the 30, and it'll be 3rd down and a short 8 or a long 7, as Herschel lost about a half a yard. Just starting the ball game at the Astrodome in Houston. This play figures pass, and look for Sam Bowers dragging down the middle. Sam breaks it that way. Sipe goes the other way and completes it to Jeff Speck, who is also a tight end and lined up on the left side. And it looks like Speck is far enough upfield to get the 1st down, and he does. So there's the poise of the veteran at quarterback.
Yeah, they're very veteran, or a very good 3rd down route by Jeff Speck. He comes down, breaks to the inside. If it's his own defense, he sits down in the open seam, he's got the 1st down. If it's man coverage, after he breaks to the inside with the man covering him, he sprints back to the outside to run away from him. Sipe found him for the 1st down.
McConaughey is wide to the bottom of the picture. Mitchell comes out to pick him up, and they send Walker in motion the other way, which opens a little bit of a hole for Maurice Carthen. And Carthen picks up about 3 yards on the carry.
Well, it's fairly obvious what New Jersey is trying to do right now. They're giving the ball to Carthen. He runs straight ahead. He picks up the tough yards. They're just testing the center of the defense out a little bit, trying to see what they're going to do against Carthen, knowing that they're going to favor Herschel Walker. How much room will you give Maurice Carthen to run the football?
Carthen averaging 3.6 per carry coming in. That's a half a yard better than Herschel's average. And Sipe back to throw on 2nd down and 7 to the sidelines to Bowers, the tight end, and Sam, reading the marker well, crosses midfield and gets the 1st down for New Jersey at the Houston 47, tackled by Andy Hawkins. Andy Hawkins had 4 years with Tampa Bay, came out of Texas A&I. Jack Pardee, who put in some time as a linebacker in college and professional football, really high. He thinks he's a terrific player.
Jack Pardee loves to spend most of his time with the defensive people. I saw him out here the last couple of days just fine-tuning this team. He thinks his defensive team is going to grow and improve steadily throughout the season.
First down and 10 from the Houston 47 for New Jersey. And again, Walker is in motion with Sipe throwing on first down to the sidelines, and he overthrows Tom McConaughey. And McConaughey had fair coverage that time from Will Lewis, a 25-year-old out of Millersville.
Let me point out right now, Keith, that was one of the first times in the 3 games we've covered previous to this one that New Jersey has thrown the ball on first down. When you get prepared for a football team, you have to key their tendencies. You also have to key their personnel. They've been looking at Gene Bradley for the last 2 weeks. Now they're looking at Brian Sipe. Brian Sipe would do things very much differently than what Bradley did and can throw this entire defensive team off.
On second down and 10 from the Houston 47, Sipe back to throw. Gets it away to Walker. He's got 2 men in front of him for the screen play, looking for some daylight, and Herschel's got 8 yards as he crosses the 40 near the 39. Kika Diala and Mike Hawkins gang up on him and bring him down. Your heart comes right up in your throat when you get Herschel Walker out on a screen. He's not only great one-on-one with that big size, strength, and speed, but that time he had 2 people out in front to help him, Dave Lapham and Doug Mackey.
He was a little bit slow on deciding which way he wanted to take those blocks, Keith. I think the next time Herschel gets the ball on the screen, if he just turns upfield and runs, most people can hold him for that split second. He'll pick up more yards.
They've marked him just over the 40. Call it third down and 3 for the Generals. No score, first quarter of play. Again, Walker in motion. And Sipe has time, goes down the middle, and the pass is complete all the way down to the 25 of Houston. Clarence Collins, the wide receiver, number 82, the rookie from Illinois State.
There's a flag on the field, usually in the area where they call offensive holding, but no, they're calling roughing the passer against number 78, Cleveland Crosby, defensive right end for the Houston Gamblers. Already we've seen the change-up in the offensive strategy with Brian Sipe in there, throwing the ball much more than they have in past games.
Foul, roughing the passer, number 78 on the defense, first down.
And the football now is down in around the inside the 13-yard line of Houston. So the mistake by Crosby and the pass completion by Sipe. And the Generals are knocking on the door, bidding to take the lead with 8 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sipe is 4 out of 5 for 42 yards. It's Walker. Hit hard by number 34, shooting out of the backfield, Calvin Eason. But Eason, a 195-pound rookie out of Houston, just bounced off of him. And Herschel kept on chugging and picked up some yardage. Will Lewis finally made the tackle. You're not going to arm tackle Herschel Walker very effectively.
Easton was like a scout for the Army that time. He goes out there, finds out where the enemy is, locates it, and then waits for help to arrive.
Gain 2 for Walker. Second down 8. Ball just short of the 10. Walt Michaels, coach of the Generals. They're trying to stick it in the end zone in their first offensive possession. They bring Collins back toward the line of scrimmage, and Sipe to put it up. He looks down the middle, goes down the middle to Collins, and Collins is thrown down around the 7. Mike Mitchell, the left cornerback, making the hit, number 35. They had Sam Bowers running a corner route, and Sam was breaking free, but Sipe committed himself to Collins down the middle.
Take a look at Collins coming in. He comes in motion right there. He's just cutting off the inside of the tight end, letting the tight end pick for him naturally. He gets downfield, short little pass into an open seam of his own defense. Sipe makes the read, finds the open receiver.
They come up to the line of scrimmage. The ball is at the 7. And it's third down and 4.5. Sipe back quickly, puts it up, touchdown, Speck. Jeff Speck, the tight end, almost didn't turn around in time, but he was all alone and steps into the end zone, and New Jersey takes the lead.
Ryan Sipe didn't get a chance to see the pass. Number 31, Kiki Diala, came in on the blitz and hit him just as he was throwing the ball. But Ryan Sipe read the blitz. When he throws his ball, he just lost it because he knows Speck is going to read that particular kind of blitz. He knows the route, no one there to cover Speck. Very easy, very simple, and it's a touchdown.
And Ruzak out of Marlboro's hole for the extra point is good. So the New Jersey Generals in their first defensive possession. 63 yards, 11 plays. They gobble up 6 minutes and 22 seconds, and they lead in the ball game 7-0. Gamblers have a little better field position now for their second offensive possession, with New Jersey leading 7-0.
What does it take to
Bunch that took the football and stuck it in the end zone, getting some rest now. Up to the defense to contain this young man, Jim Kelly, who came out of the University of Miami. Big, strong youngster, and they like him in Houston. He was one of the first players signed by the Houston Gamblers, become very active in the community, and now on 1st and 10 from his 29, he drops to throw and pulls it down and tries to run out of the crowd, and he's got no place to go. He's dropped for a yard loss. From out of the west, he rode to catch the touchdown pass. His name is Jeff Speck. He's with Mike Barry.
Jeff Speck, that was a called play. It's the second one you caught like that this afternoon.
It was the exact same play. And what happened, they blitzed on the goal line. No one covered me. It was just my girlfriend could have caught the ball. It was just one of those things.
All right, Jeff, back upstairs.
Well, his girlfriend is very happy that you caught it instead.
2nd down, 11, as Kelly loses a yard. On the tackle, he had nobody to throw to. The linebackers had dropped deep. The secondary had played it well, and the receivers were sealed off. Now Kelly's pass thrown short. It goes to Sam Harrell, and Harrell out of East Carolina runs it out to the 39. He's a big, long-legged guy who just sort of skates through the traffic, 6'2", 225.
Whenever they roll out for a pass, that little screen pass coming back is so hard to stop. Watch the entire defensive unit. They've got to follow the passer, got to follow the pocket to put pressure on him. Sam just stays right there, and the 3 people rushing are all past him. Now he's running upfield, and Lockett, with a little speed, is able to catch up from behind, only because he's making moves downfield.
3rd down and 1. Sam went for 200 yards against Chicago last week in the 45-point victory for them, and Kelly going to throw it, going to run it. Got his first down and slides down at the 44. Well, he's learned already, hasn't he?
Last week against Chicago, Kelly took off to run. Found some daylight, started running towards the sideline, then decided to go upfield a little bit more and dropped to the ground when he figured he couldn't get any more. A player from Chicago came up from behind and almost took his head off while he was lying there on the ground. So Kelly now realizes, even though he can't see him, there's always someone coming from behind.
Howard Schnellenberger loved him because he was a big, strong, forceful leader for the Hurricanes, and takes particular pleasure in his alma mater won the national championship with that victory over Nebraska last year. It is 1st down from the 44 for Houston. Kelly back to throw again. His pass is down the middle. He's got a man wide open. That is Gerald McNeil, who's 5'8", 140 pounds, a dynamite young football player out of Baylor. You say 140-pounder playing pro football, go down there to Baylor and talk to him. They loved him when he was there.
They loved him at Baylor, and if he's 140 pounds, well, they might have exaggerated that one. Kelly gets all kinds of time here to throw, and the receivers on the outside have now stretched out the zone. The linebackers are short underneath, so McNeil is just sitting in a pocket underneath the corner and the safety, number 26, Barbaro. Big hole for the catch.
And a 1st down at the New Jersey 28 for the Houston Gamblers. So they come back to threaten, trying to respond. Kelly back, looking and looking and looking. Passes away, and it is complete. It is caught by Greg Moser when it looked like it might be intercepted. Number 29, Mike Williams, was coming across, and it looked for all the world like he was going to pick it off.
For all the time that Kelly had to throw, Williams was doing a great job of covering. He had a man-for-man, was inside of Greg Moser as the ball was being thrown. See Kelly, the pump fake, buys him more time, the pocket shifting. He's got some room to run, but he finds his receiver instead. Receiver constantly coming back to the football. He makes the catch while Williams is outstretched.
Greg
Good
Moser
concentration.
Out of Oregon. And Kelly now has hit 4 passes in a row, and Harrell carries the football from the 1st down play at the 15. And he's close to the 11, mark at the 12, picked up 3. First quarter going swiftly, 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first period. And the Houston Gamblers are down knocking on the door now, trying to respond to the New Jersey score. New Jersey doing it through the air today with sight back. And Houston doing it through the air by design. That's their basic game plan, as Jack Pardee said. They throw it to open up the run. It's 2nd down and 7. Kelly steps out, throws it short. Pass is caught. Knocked out of bounds, close to the first down marker. It's Richard Johnson, 185-pounder out of Colorado. And he went right over the marker at the 5, and that should be a first down. First and goal for Houston.
Jim Kelly's a young passer with a tremendously strong arm. Not much of an angle to throw a pass like the one you just saw there. You got to be able to zip it in because the defensive back or linebacker will have a good angle on that pass. That's Darryl Mouse Davis there, the offensive coordinator. He was at Portland State and had maybe the greatest passing attack in Division II football.
Neil Lomax was the quarterback of that team. And in motion for Houston, give the ball inside to Harrell. Breaks loose. Touchdown for the Houston Gamblers. So they answer.
The Houston Gamblers wasted very little time answering that ball control drive of the New Jersey Generals. With a drive, passing the ball down the field, and some excellent running by Sam Harrell. Watch the line blocking here. There's not a big hole. Everybody's coming up on the blitz. He gives him the hole. He just squeezes by Jim LeClaire there. There's 71, Tom Whitland. He gets by him. Then he goes into the end zone, dragging a player as he gets in.
That is the 8th touchdown for Sam Harrell. So Sam leads the USFL in scoring touchdown. Todd Dillon holds it. They're going to try to go for 2. And they've got it! Can you believe it?
Number 16, Tony Fritz, played for the Houston Oilers, now kicking for the Houston Gamblers. Took the pass from Dillon. Foul number 29, Sam Harrell in the end zone. This is by design. It seemed to get confused here, though.
It's a high snap, though, wasn't it?
It's a high snap. He gets over. He gets the ball back.
Watch Tony.
Tony, look at this.
Shot put.
If I was a duck hunter, that would be an easy shot. Welcome home, Fritz.
Oh, my.
And he accepts it gladly. Sam Harrell continues to build up his lead as a scorer. We'll be right back.
Big hole for him, and he's out to the 37. So the New Jersey Generals will open it up with a very good field position. First down at their own, call it 38.
The best spark plug that Champion has ever made just got even better. Because Champion's new expanded Copper Plus spark plug line is now available for just about every domestic and imported car sold in America. From Chrysler to Renault, from Buick to Volkswagen and everything in between. Copper Plus, now ready to improve the performance of your car. Because
quarter, after that rather unusual 2-point conversion by Houston, the New Jersey Generals go to work at their own 38. Now let's see whether or not the Gambler defensive alignment will change some and try to get a hold of the ball control offense of New Jersey. Side to Walker. And he's out to about the 40 for 2 yards. Well, here's the man. Proof that if you persevere long enough, there'll always be moments of sunshine. Mike Barry with Tony Fritsch.
Tony Frisch, is Jim Kelly's job in danger?
Oh, I tell you, sure not, but I tell you, I had to wait 13 years to really make a pass the dance, and really it's worked out. We had a very high snap, and we did that out of chance, and I'll be glad it's worked out. So before I end my career, I really
do you practice that? Do you practice it?
Not really.
All right,
but I'll be happy it's worked, you know.
You saw him on the street, you wouldn't know that he was a football player, but he's had his moments in the NFL and now the USFL. He came from Vienna, Austria. Herschel Walker on a sweep. Defense strings it out pretty well. And on the 2nd down and 8, there is a penalty flag.
Number 34, Calvin Eason, was the safety, rookie out of Houston. He came up, forced to play back inside. to the pursuit. Preliminary signal, holding against New Jersey.
So the Generals make a mistake now. +2 pretty good defensive plays by Houston. That'll back them up 10, and time is about gone in the first period. 40 seconds remaining.
I'll tell you, Tony Fritz, he's played 13
Holding.
years.
Number 89
He's
on
38
the offense.
years old.
Second
And
down.
he's probably seen a lot in those years playing for the Cowboys, the Chargers, and Houston. But I'll tell you, he probably is no more excited. This is probably one of his most exciting moments in football. Let's watch him here. He goes up. He thinks he scored a touchdown.
He didn't kick for the touchdown. He threw for the 2 points.
Yes.
Oh, he's a dandy. He's fun to be around. And second down now. Ball is back at the 30. Second down and 18. And Sipe on a deep drop throws it short. Pass intended for Walker, and the pass is incomplete. Covering Herschel on the play, number 25, Hollis Hall out of Clemson.
Hollis Hall is the nickelback. He comes in obvious passing situations when you need the extra man, just to make the defensive secondary a little bit tougher. Just a bit tougher. What they've got to do, talking to Jim Meddy, who is their defensive coordinator here in Houston, they want to get this team behind. They know that man for man, they can get outpowered by this team. So they're going to look for the breaks, try and make them, and go for the big scores to put them under pressure.
On third down and 18. Sipe puts it up for Collins, and it's thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Collins had drawn a crowd. Donald Dykes and Mike Mitchell were both there, and he had no chance at it. So Sipe just touched it on out of bounds and out of reach.
Well, Collins is getting outside coverage, underneath coverage with help over the top. He's got a man underneath, so it cuts off that throwing lane, the throw underneath. He has a man coming over the top, so Brian Sipe has to be able to just drop it in very precisely. It's on the sideline. If it's close, he'll stick it out of bounds so it doesn't get intercepted.
Bob Grupp now comes on to punt. He has replaced Tim Cutts as the kicker for the New Jersey Generals. And he spins it out, and it must be fun for Walt Michaels to see the ball hang up there that long. But Tim Cutts was having his trouble. The return by Gerald McNeil is right around the 37-yard line. So Houston will have pretty good field position after a 36-yard punt.
Standing wide receivers. You see Anthony Carter come in motion here. While the defense double teams Carter, Derek Holloway is alone in the back of the end zone. And in the first quarter, the Panthers have now taken a 14-3 lead over Arizona on that Averta Holloway touchdown. Now back to Keith Jackson in the Meadowlands.
Hard to go home, Jimmy. Begin to look like an airplane seat. The ball is on the 36-yard line. First down. And 13 seconds with the clock going now to the end of the first quarter. See if they go ahead and try to get the snap away. At that end of the field, it's all carpet. And Kelly does not get it off. So Jim didn't get his snap away in time, and so they'll turn around and go to the other end of the field. So we played 15 minutes at the Astrodome, and the Houston Gamblers lead the New Jersey Generals 8-7.
When you
the 25th running of the Atlanta 500 of the Atlanta Raceway. That's Messrs. Yarborough and Allison and Waldrop and Petty and all of the good old boys. And the NCAA Wrestling Championships featuring Iowa's Jim Zaleski, who's won 89 consecutive victories. The Houston Gamblers ball just outside their own 36, leading by 8-7 as the snap went high on the extra point try, and they turned it into a two-point conversion. Fritch to Harrell. And here comes Harrell up the middle. They almost had him at the line of scrimmage, but he squeezes maybe a yard out of it. So they'll be looking at second down and 9 starting the second quarter of play.
Gary Barber was just able to get him by the ankles. And let's take a look at the stats for the first quarter. Really fairly even here, 60 yards to 81, New Jersey to Houston. Most of it coming in the passing department. Brian Sipe going into the ball game feels the secondary of the Houston Gamblers is a little weak, and right now they're just behind by 1 point. So I think we're going to see much more passing by New Jersey.
Second down and 9. That's Sanders going in motion for Houston. Kelly passes away, passes complete to Richard Johnson. Johnson is out of bounds up near the 41. Herschel Walker so far in the ball game has 1 yard.
That was number 24, Terry Daniels, that came into the ball game and made the tackle there. He came up to the line. Richard Johnson came up. He just bumped him a little bit, tried to get physical. In the other ball games against Jacksonville, against Philadelphia, the cornerbacks came up and tried to be as physical as they could with the wide receivers to throw them off the routes because they knew they were going to pass the ball a lot, and that would give those linebackers and secondary, the deep safeties, much more of an opportunity to make the plays, to cover the zone.
Third down and call it 6. The ball is just over the 40. Kelly dumps it off short to Johnson, and Johnson is short of the first down as they nail him at about the 45. And it was inside linebacker Jim LeClaire who stayed at home that time. He took a short drop and then stepped back in and was right there where he was needed.
They had 3 of the wide receivers 40 yards downfield, Keith, on the screen. And when Johnson came out for the screen, he was behind his lineman. He saw Kelly dropping back, getting pressure, and he left the protection of that screen coming inside because the defense was so far spread apart.
Mike Williams drops deep to accept the punt now from Dale Walters, whose first kick was a 51-yarder. Houston leading 8-7, second quarter of play. High snap, gets a good bounce out of it and gets his kick off. Mike Williams goes back to his 12 and down at the 13.
Walters got an excellent break that time. Of course, taking so much time, he could hit a line drive so they didn't lose any of the field position on the kick. We'll be right back.
That he's a pretty good athlete. He is from Rice University. Big guy, 6 feet, 210 pounds. But once the ball hit the ground now, he's fair game. You've got to see Justin come across and whack him. Now Dale's going to turn around and look at the official, but there's no roughing there. He got 43 yards on that punt.
That was a great punt. Once he got the ball back in his hands, he didn't waste a lot of time trying to set up, do anything fancy, didn't worry about where he was in the field. He just booted the ball. Got a break. And New Jersey has to go to work. First down at its own 13. Houston leading 8-7 with 12:50 to go in the first half. Ryan Sipe from inside the 5 gets his pass away, and the pass is dropped by Maurice Carthen. He hit him right between the 3s. Now, sometimes for the big running backs, right in the chest is a hard place to hang on to it. Maurice Carthen coming out. I'm sure he just needs a little more time working with Brian Sipe coming out of the backfield. That's a tough pass to catch.
Brian does not throw a hard ball.
No, it's not. It's not a hard ball, but he's coming out at an angle. He's running towards the sideline or upfield. He's got to twist his upper body around to try and make that catch. It's tough on the receiver, and we know his forte is running hard up the middle. Second down and 10. That quick drop, quick pass. Pass is caught by Collins. Collins thrown down short of the 20 by Mike Mitchell, the left corner. Got the defensive secondary playing a little bit off now, looking for passes. We see the Pittsburgh Maulers, Washington Federals tied in the second quarter. Collins is the leading receiver for the New Jersey Generals, making that catch. Those two teams hungry for a win, especially Washington. Hungry, Keith? Desperate. Yeah. It is third down and 5 from about the 18. It's Walker. Herschel caught. He's close to the first down. A penalty flag thrown across the field. Brought down by Mike Hawkins and Will Lewis. And Mike Hawkins' brother, Andy Hawkins, was the man that got the first lick in on him and turned him inside, slowed him down a bit. Referee Don Wilson against New Jersey. So in the second and now the third possession, New Jersey has made a mistake. Here on third and 5, they make a mistake of getting somebody in motion. On the previous possession, they were caught holding. I would think at this point that it'll be fourth down if they decline it. Houston would decline it. Yep. Because I don't think New Jersey would take a chance back here inside their own 20-yard line going for the fourth down.
On the offense, number 76, decline. Hey, David, up there.
So one of the linemen lined up actually in the wrong position, looked to me like. Gerald McNeil comes back now to accept the punt from Bob Grupp with 11 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the first half. And Houston sitting on an 8-7 lead.
And right now, the key to the last two possessions and the punt previous to this will be field position with Houston.
They got two people back to accept it, McNeil and Ricky Sanders. It's a good high-hanging kick, and it forces a fair catch call by Gerald McNeil back on the Houston 38-yard line. A 39-yard punt by Grupp. And once again, Houston leading by a point, gets good field position.
It's the dawn.
I like it. Ball is up near the 39 where they're put it down, and right there, that number tells you that the Houston passing attack's doing pretty well on first down snaps. And they've loaded it up on the right side with a man way wide to the top of the picture. Send the man in motion that way. Johnson, and Kelly rolls it that way. And he throws it down the middle, and he really drilled it, and the pass is caught by Scott. Nope, didn't hold it. So what they're saying, didn't come away with it. Scott McGee out of Eastern Illinois, 5'9", 170.
That's a tough call to make. I couldn't see on the play whether he had possession of the ball or not. Comes in, looks like he has it there. And somewhere between that roll and getting up here, the official says he didn't have the ball.
Looked like it to me.
Looked like he held on to it. I couldn't see that he did drop it. You see, of course, the official's down on the field, and he's got an angle we don't have, so he could have seen that ball just touch the ground.
Might have popped around loose underneath it. Pass is incomplete, second down and 10. Kelly again looking down the middle, passes down the middle, passes off the hands of Sanders, just a little bit too high for Ricky to pull it down. Andy Hawkins is one of the fellows who've been trying to hang on to Herschel Walker's coattails today. Mike Barry is with him.
Keith, Andy, you and your brother Mike are doing a good job of containing Herschel. What are you doing?
Well, you know, we're trying to keep Herschel running sideline to sideline. As long as you can keep him doing that and not turning upfield, you have a pretty good day against him. And I hope we can continue to do that.
He gets a full head of steam. Look out.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're trying to prevent.
All right, Andy. Keith.
Thank you.
And Jim Kelly now for the Houston Gamblers looking at third down and 10. He's got McGee coming toward the bottom of the picture.
47% on third down coming into the game.
Look from the end zone, and Kelly got a lot of time, gets it off short, and the pass looked like he was trying to get to Sam Harrell, and no chance at that.
Trying to get to Sam on the screen, but about 85% of both teams were clustered around Sam there, and he had a lot of room running back to his left had he chosen to take it.
Dale Walters is in now with Mike Williams to return on fourth down. 10:47 to go in the first half. Relatively low scoring so far. Good kick. Williams goes back to his 11. And down at the 12. 50-yard punt, 1-yard return. Hollis Hall made the tackle. So Dale Walters has hit 51, 43, and 50 in his 3 punts.
Come on, one more.
No.
The chip.
And but they've lost some tough games. Lost a tough game yesterday by a point. Here's Gene Bradley, the young man who filled in for Brian Sipe in 2 games when Brian had the knee surgery. He played very well too.
He did. He didn't have much experience coming into it, but the coaches are very pleased they were able to come away with victories and some improvement.
First down from the 12-yard line for New Jersey. They hand it up the middle, and Houston is having none of it. Carthen is belted down right about the line of scrimmage.
Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, did a real good job on the center. Ken Hall, number 58 of New Jersey. What he does, he effectively blocks up the line. Now, he takes him on right here. Then even though he goes down, he just piles everybody up there. Herschel Kaufman came up, had no place to run. The play was designed to go up the middle. The rest of the linemen were able to come in, make the tackle. But the key was, of course, Tony plugging up the center.
6-footer, 245. One of Howard's boys out of Miami. Second down and 10. Sipe will throw it. He's got Howard, but he's got a sack at the 1, the 2-yard line. They come blowing in.
Keith, that is the first sack recorded against the New Jersey Generals. number 77, Pete Catton, number 78, Cleveland Crosby combined to come in for the sack. Almost looked like it might have been a safety, but from the point of contact where they had control of Brian Sipe, that's where the ball is marked down. Let's take a look at the rush. It's a straight drop back situation, a 3-man rush. Just comes around the outside, both players coming around the outside. Brian Sipe can't find a receiver, doesn't have time to look up the field for a receiver. The first sack against the New Jersey offensive line.
The ball is put down on the 3, where it is 3rd down and 20. Out of the end zone. Pass is away, intercepted! It is picked off by Will Lewis, and Lewis gets down to the goal line. Didn't score, but he's very close to it.
Well, Brian Sipe, after being sacked for the first time, backed up in his own end zone, still comes up passing the football, and this time he has Speck open, but Lewis just stepped right in front of him, picked it off, and now you know he desperately wants to score. Defensive back doesn't get many opportunities to pick one out so close to the end zone. You know he wanted it real bad. More importantly, it's a turnover. His team has possession of the ball. They can take a good lead here with 8.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Ball is on the 1. They got 4 shots at it. First and goal. Harrell outside. Touchdown.
Last week, Sam Harrell had 200 yards. He scored 4 touchdowns, 3 by rushing, 1 by the pass. And so far on the day, with help from his defense, he has 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. So all the points on the scoreboard come on the legs of Sam Harrell and some great defensive play. We take another look. He just collapsed the entire defensive line. He sprints to the outside. Barbaro just can't get to him.
14-7, and Tony Fritz now is in out of Mosier's hole to try to make it 15, we think. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good this time. And so the Houston Gamblers, with 8 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the first half, have moved out to a 15-7 lead over the New Jersey Generals, who came into Texas undefeated.
Have you ever noticed that sometimes the best you can do is settle for second best? Now you won't have to with the new R-Series riding mower from John Deere. You see, they don't cost more than ordinary riders, but they're...
Ball, and Lewis picked it off to give Harrell the opportunity. It's a short kick by Dale Walters, and Dwight Sullivan comes back with it across the 30 and up to the 32. Again, go back to the interception, and you watch your receiver now. He's just going to stand there.
Well, he's standing there in the zone. He figures he's wide open, and he is. But right there, Lewis, who was just on his outside, got a jump on the pass, read it, came across and picked it up. He played it extremely well. You know, just didn't get in there. And here's the touchdown that they scored. Leclerc tries to come in and plug up the middle, but Sam fakes him out. He keeps heading for the sideline.
New Jersey, first down from its 32. Sipe gives to Walker. And Walker this time is able to turn it upfield some. Looked like he might have 5 yards. Brought down by Andy Hawkins, number 59.
Walker took the ball that time and ran extremely hard. He, that time didn't look as if he was looking for a place to run. He was going to create a hole for himself.
Clock showing 7:35 to go in the first half, and a 15-7 lead for Houston. Second down, 5. Carson. Just over the 40. It'll be third and about 2.
In a ball game like this, we all know that turnovers are crucial. Creating the opportunities, making mistakes, and taking advantage of them. New Jersey has been able to do it consistently throughout the first 3 ball games. Now, in this ball game, they've even become much more important because they need ball control to march down the field.
Yep.
When they make a mistake, it's a long time before they get the ball back and can score again.
On 3rd and 2 from the 40, They try it up the middle, and they don't make it. They did not make it. Carthen trying to punch in the middle, and it was just nothing there as the linebackers pinched in. And where they put the ball down, it just does not look like a first down. Look how they're shoulder to shoulder.
Well, they just don't want to give you any breathing room. They come down. You see them going low there. A couple of guys staying high, just trying to stop that line. They don't want the offensive line to fire off the ball to make any penetration. It's clogged up. Then you see the corners coming around the outside, taking the tackle, stopping him cold at the line of scrimmage. He cannot get the first down.
And so Gruff is in to punt on 4th and 1. His two previous punts, 36 and 39. McNeil and Sanders are deep for the Houston Gamblers. Very high kick, beauty. Turns over, runs, way back. McNeil had put his hand up, and that brought the whistle. Despite the scramble, it's going to be called a fair catch, looks to me like.
Well, that whistle, Keith, I think was blown prematurely.
Yeah.
You call it fair catch, the player has an opportunity to make the catch without being hit. If he drops the ball, then it's a free ball. The ball can't be advanced. Wherever the defensive team or the punting team recovers it, it would be their possession there. That time, he made the fair catch signal. The ball comes right through, and it was about right there the whistle was blown.
Yep.
Now, if the whistle's blown, the play is dead.
And it's Houston's ball back on their 7th. That's the first New Jersey punt over 40 yards this season. That one good for 52. 5:47 to go in the first half. And they've got 3 people wide now to the bottom of the picture, and send one of them, Sanders, in motion to the top. And Kelly gives the ball to Sam Harrell. And he's out near the 9. A couple of yards on the carry.
Once again, here's the fair catch. You watch him. Watch his hand go up. There's the signal. Now, it's not a real good signal for a fair catch.
Was not.
But still, doesn't make a difference. He drops the ball. Whether he signals for a fair catch or not, now the ball is live, and it's anybody's football. And the official had blown the ball. He still recovers it, but again, the whistle was blown much too soon.
That's too quick. Ball is on the 9, 2nd down and 8. Kelly, real quick one over there to Scott McGee. And McGee won't get much out of it, out to about the 12. Trying to use his speed and come back inside. And
well, they set up this quick screen, Keith, and after he catches it, you'll see him sprint back towards his line. Now watch his line. They're trying to get to the outside, give him some blocking, but the play is designed for him to come back to it and cut across the grain. Against a passing team, a defense can look for that kind of pass. They gear up for it. Not a good time to throw it.
Freddie Gilbert was missed. The pulling lineman just simply missed Gilbert, and Freddie was right there. It's 3rd down and 5. Kelly's pass is off, and it is Sanders for a first down at the 20.
Those short passes, Keith, are very much like basic lessons in geometry and the angles. Throws that pass. If number 24, Terry Daniels, had turned around or could have afforded to turn around, he could have knocked that ball down. But he's got a receiver running in front of him. He has to sprint hard to stay with him. He can't look back. He's watching the receiver's hands. If his hands go up, then he'll make a play for the ball. That time, the ball is going right over his shoulder. Sanders caught it, and Daniels had no chance to make the play. It's first down for Houston.
At the 20. Kelly now 9 out of 14 for 89 yards, and Jim's back to throw again. Got all day. Got a lot of green to run in, and he's got a first down as he rolls out of bounds up across the 30 to the 32.
You can tell that Jim Kelly is really not used to doing a lot of running. He had a lot of room that time. Great protection by his offensive line. Of course, his offensive line, not real big. They've been on heavyweight programs. That's why they do a lot of sprinting out. But after they come upfield, the defensive rush comes upfield. He finds room, starts to run. But look at him look. He's not running too hard, too fast, looking for a place to go, protecting himself as he gets out of bounds for the first down.
But he's not a gimme. He's 6'3", 215.
Oh, he's a strong kid. But you can be a big man and still not want to carry that football.
Right.
We've seen a lot of those.
3:50 to go first half, first down. Ball now out at the Houston 32, so they've wiggled themselves out of trouble. And Kelly throws it short. Sanders dropped it. Ricky was open. He came out of Southwest Texas, and he had about 6 or 7 more yards to pick up. But he didn't look the ball home.
So far in this Houston Gambler offense, we really haven't seen that many deep passes. We saw one medium range pass. Last week, Kelly threw a big touchdown pass. You saw in their opening for 61 yards, and that was really the only time they've gone deep. I'm anxious to see, because he has so much speed, when they're just really going to open up and attack the secondary, stretch it out, and go for the big ones against New Jersey.
They lead 15-7. Houston does. Second down and 10. And they've got him inside the 30, back at the 28. Lynn Madsen, the big rookie defensive end out of Washington.
Now this is it's a real tough game for a safety. When you've got so many receivers coming downfield, you have to be able to read the receivers. You see Gary Barbaro, he's an all-pro from Kansas City. He's trying to read the receivers. He's reading the quarterback. You see he gets a look there, and the scrambler makes it tough. He sees him back there scrambling. He can't afford to run up and make the play, because if he does, a receiver breaks open, and he hasn't got him covered. Look at the protection here. He's looking for an area to run to out of that pocket, but they did a good job of containing him. Third down and 13. Kelly's pass is away. He's got a man. And it is McGee for a first down up at the 48-yard line. Jim Kelly throws a hard pass right in front of Gary Barbaro to McGee. But again, it's because he has 3 other receivers who are running deep, spreading out. Look how far Barbaro has to go, because he's got other people you can't see in the picture who are forcing him deep. McGee just runs into the zone, gets the pass. It was threaded by Kelly, and it's a good play. How many yards did he pick up that time? 20. 20 yards. That's an intermediate route. It's a good play. You can only get 20-yard pass receptions after you spread out the defense. First down, Houston. 2:20 to go first half. Handed off inside, Sam Harrell, and boy, he almost popped it out of there. Almost got away. Jim LeClaire among those that pinned his legs just before he popped loose. There's Jim. Jim, a lot of years, 33 years old. He still enjoys the game. He works hard. The New Jersey linebackers, Swanee, have accounted 41% of the team's tackles on defense so far this season. 2-minute warning. Timeout on the field. By the United States Football League, 15-7. The Houston Gamblers lead by 8. 2 minutes to play. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The ball is sitting on the New Jersey side of the field at the 47. Donald Trump among those watching the game today. That's Jim Ballard, Vice President and General Manager, the man who runs this ball club, sitting at on the left side. It is second down. Call it 4.5 for Houston. Jim Kelly, a lot of daylight, slides down for a first down at the 33 of New Jersey. Take a look at this scramble. The pocket shifting to the left, and look at the big hole you see right there between the end and the tackle, just wide open. Well, that is there by design, because they want to give the quarterback an alley to run out of whenever he gets back there in trouble, or if it just opens wide open, it's like a draw play. And he has the option of taking that or staying with the pass. Jim has now carried it 3 times for 32 yards, all of them first downs. A pass thrown too high for the intended receiver, Greg Moser. Well, they're working on Kerry Justin that time, number 23. This is the first ball game, actually the second ball game he's played in. He just played briefly last week. The size of the wide receivers now, these swift people for Houston. Moser's 6-footer, but the others are less than that. Sanders is 5'11", McNeil's 5'8", McGee's 5'9", Barus is 5'9". Ball is at the New Jersey 34. We're at second down and 10. Their forte, Keith, is speed, stretching out the defense.
Kelly's pass is caught. Great catch by number 22, Richard Johnson, who is also 5'9".
Richard Johnson came in with it looks like a little flag route. He just came in towards the center, and he gave a real big move. Took that left foot, picked it up, put it down on the ground like he was going to go inside on the post route. You see him right at the top of the screen there. Then he turns it out on Barbaro. Now, safeties aren't normally known for their ability to cover man for man. Barbaro's right there, but Johnson goes up and makes a tough catch. That gives him 4 on the day for 30 yards.
Less than a minute to go now. Clock running at the 19. No, make it the 21 of New Jersey. 21 where it is. And Kelly gives to Harrell up the middle. Sam on a draw to the 15. And now they'll spend the timeout. That stops it at 44 seconds. Houston with 2 more calls available for the timeout. And there's your time remaining, and the Gamblers trying to make it a big lead at halftime over the undefeated New Jersey Generals. Coming up later on World News tonight, Sunday, with Sam Donaldson, we'll have a wrap-up of the Democratic political campaign going into the big Tuesday primary in Illinois. And Ray Gandolf will have a report on Rick Dempsey, the Baltimore catcher. Ricker, old scrap iron. I have more fun playing golf with him in the wintertime. He attacks golf just the way he plays baseball. Hard.
I attack golf the same way I play baseball, too. I strike out a lot.
16-yard line. It is marked of New Jersey.
Man on the headset right there is the defensive coordinator for the New Jersey Generals, Dale Lindsey, and he worked with Jim Eddy, excuse me, not Jim Eddy, but with Moose Davis up in Toronto when they ran the offense and coached up there. And up in Toronto, he had a quarterback by the name of Turner Gill. You might remember him from his days in Nebraska. And he was a scrambler, and he worked hard. And Dale told me up there in Canada, they ran that little screen pass a lot to the halfback, to the receivers, and even up there, you could never stop it. But now he's on the other side, and he's sure hoping he can find a way to do it.
Numbers on Kelly right now, 11 out of 18 for 122 yards. He's run 3 times for 32 yards. And he's looking at 2nd down and 5 from the 16 of New Jersey. Tony Fritsch is the place kicker. They're in his range. There's Kelly's little swing pass out to the corner. Pass is good to Richard Johnson. Johnson, the slot back, gets the 1st down inside the 10 at the 9. 39 seconds to play in the 1st half.
Now, I'm a pass receiver, and I've always said that passing is a high-risk venture. There are 3 things that can happen when you throw a football. 1, it can be caught. 2, it can be intercepted. Or 3, it can be incomplete. But this team certainly is not making the pass look like it's a high-risk venture. They are just marching down the field, backed up against their own end zone, and now looks like they could possibly score as time is running out in the 2nd quarter.
Trying to go, 93 yards. Kelly, Harrell up the middle, breaks it, gets down inside the 5 to the 3. Now they should spend another timeout, and they do. He was a half a stride from popping it into the end zone. Gary Barbaro got him with the legs. You almost have to think legs when you're going to tackle Harrell.
Well, when you look at a tall runner like Sam Harrell, not necessarily that tall, but he's all legs, you know if you grab those legs, you twist him up a little bit, he'll get off balance, and he may go down. Early in the ball game, on one run, he showed us that he had very good balance, stumbled around a bit, got a hand down, and kept on going.
The NCAA Wrestling Championships, one of the features on ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday. The other being the Atlanta 500. Cale Yarborough running in the 25th version of that old Southern Grand National event. He's won it 5 times. With 33 seconds to play in the 1st half, Jim Kelly and company, 2nd down goal from the 3. Harrell with 30 yards on 8 carries. He scored 2 touchdowns, and he has a 2-point conversion catch from Fritsch.
You know, when you talk about building a franchise and key players, Jim Kelly may be a perfect individual for this Houston organization. You're talking about Howard Schnellenberger. Well, Kelly was one of the key players that Schnellenberger built his program around to bring his team to a national championship last year. Now he comes again into Houston. He's used to that kind of pressure.
Well, this is a big old strong youngster out of Pennsylvania that some people wanted to play linebacker. He wanted to play quarterback. That's why he went to Miami. Kelly's back there. His pass down the middle is intercepted. Thrown intended, it looked like, for Scott McGee, and Willie Harper stepped in behind him, and suddenly the ball was there, and look what I found, interception. So he tried to force it, and it blew up. And they are turned away with 25 seconds to play in the first half. Well, I would say, Swanee, that could be called a rookie mistake there.
I think so. I think he was very excited. He got down here, a long drive. He did a good job. They're playing man-to-man coverage. He's going to see the receiver coming across right here in the middle of the screen. He wants to throw it. He leads him to the outside too much, and Harper just comes back from his off position and picks it up.
Ricky Sanders was the intended receiver, but Ricky had no chance on that. And so New Jersey comes out to the 20 and give the ball to Herschel Walker. And Walker runs it out to the 32. And 19 seconds showing. Remember, the clock stops now when the chains are moved for a first down in the final 2 minutes of each half in the USFL. Once the chains are in place, referee Don Wilson will wind the clock. New Jersey ready to go. Right, Walker the other way. This time they get him behind the line of scrimmage. And the clock showing 5-4 and running down. That's the half. And the Houston Gamblers lead at halftime 15-7. And if they'd been a little more patient, they might very well have had more. Back with a halftime after this message and the word from our local station.
Okay, everybody. What do you say we make it Michelob Light for the winners?
Catch you later.
Yeah, it's a whole new game when you're playing for Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winners. Michelob Light.
I may not win every race, but I still have an advantage over these guys. I use the Gillette Atra. They don't. It has the advantage of a pivoting head. Atra is better than twin-blade razors that don't pivot. See? They don't always stay on my beard, but my Atra pivots to keep both blades on my beard longer. So I get a better shave. Close, comfortable.
Get the Gillette Atra and get the Atra advantage.
Hey, everyone can use a little advantage.
Where'd you get this price? That's not the weekend rate you promised me.
Of course it is, sir.
No way.
Would I lie?
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm positive, sir.
Only National guarantees weekend rates. Just $19.95 a day or less for any car up to this Olds Cutlass, guaranteed. And if we don't deliver, you'll get $50 off your next rental. We give you national attention, and that's the truth.
Tuesday on Foul Ups, Mel Brooks and a commercial phenomenon.
Where's the beef?
Then B. Arthur becomes Pablo's press agent.
Be Jewish.
What's it to?
Now, I recall the time that the band and I was invited to this here barbecue by a big West Texas rancher. And he was a little overproud of the place, you know, so he says, "Do you realize, Mel, that I can hop in my car at dawn and not get to the other end of my spit by sundown?" Well, old Lonesome, he's my bongo player. He pipes up and says, "I had a car like that one time, and I found a tank full of peanut perked her up just fine." They're my kind of folks, you've seen them. $25 goes a long way at your Texas Ford dealer when you buy a new Ford Ranger. Just look at what you get. Rear step bumper, deluxe wheel trim, low mount swing away mirrors. Inside there's power brakes, gauge package, an AM/FM radio, and a real efficient 4-speed manual transmission. You get the best-selling small truck in America, and you save over $700. You can't beat that.
So come on in and save during Truck Month at your Texas Ford dealer.
It's a college basketball weekend. We'll have the highlights after the update.
All right, I'm Jim Lampley at ABC Sports Control. We welcome those of you who have been watching New Jersey and the surprising Houston Gamblers. Here's a look at what is happening elsewhere in the United States Football League as of this moment. Arizona's Wranglers are giving Michigan's Panthers a little bit of a battle after a first quarter, which was all Michigan. The Panthers are on top in this ball game. In the first quarter, they had a long drive, which was keyed by 30 yards worth of pass interference penalties. John Williams paid it off on that 1-yard run. It was 7-0 Michigan. And then after a Frank Corral field goal narrowed it to 7-3, Bobby Hebert hit Derek Holloway with that 10-yard touchdown pass. The Panthers right now in control of that ball game 14-3 as they try to add their 4th victory of the early season. Tampa Bay jumped on top early playing in the snow at Denver. Tampa Bay is also unbeaten and trying to remain so, but the Denver Gold have come back to seize control of this game. In the first quarter, John Reeves in the snow threw this touchdown pass to Eric Trevelyan to make it 7-0 Tampa Bay. Denver came back to narrow it to 7-3 on a Brian Spielman field goal. Then this pass from Penrose was completed, fumbled away. Zach Henderson, formerly from Oklahoma and now playing for Tampa Bay, took it in on a 50-yard fumble recovery return. It was 14-3 Tampa Bay, but Denver started the comeback as Penrose hit Elmer Bailey with this 14-yard touchdown pass to narrow it to 14-10. Since then, Spielman has hit 2 more field goals, the last one on the last play of the first half, and in a little bit of a surprise right now, the Denver Gold are leading 16-14. Remember, there were reports this week that owner Ron Blanding is on the verge of selling the Gold. The team continues to play reasonably well under Craig Morton right now. Oakland's Invaders are trying to erase some of the memories of an 0-3 start under former coach John Ralston as they're playing their first game under new coach Chuck Hutchinson in Philadelphia against the Stars. And this is the long pass from Fred Bisana to Gordon Banks for 46 yards that set up what was only the 2nd Oakland touchdown of the season, a 2-yard run by Ernest Brown, which has given the Invaders a 7-0 lead over the Stars. The game now in the 3rd quarter, and Philadelphia has to wonder what happened to the offense, which was so good a year ago as they rolled up the best regular season record in the league. Finally, Pittsburgh and Washington, the Futility Bowl, both teams 0-3, and Glenn Carano to Greg Anderson got Pittsburgh on the board first to make it 7-0. And then Reggie Collier threw this touchdown pass to Joey Walters for 7 yards. That tied it at 7-7. It was set up by a 47-yard pass from Collier to Joey Walters. That may be the passing combination that head coach Dick Bielski is looking for to revive the Washington Federals offense, now playing under Bielski, of course, who replaced Ray Yawk earlier this season. That's what's going on right now in the United States Football League. When we come back, a look at a larger issue, the possible unionization of USFL players.
Like many examples of superior engineering, there's much more to the Black & Decker heavy-duty rotary hammer than is immediately obvious. The low-vibration hammer mechanism with its unique idling system, the virtually contamination-proof dust seal and quick-change tool retainer, the tireless powerhouse of a motor, handles designed for comfort and control. But there is one thing about this rotary hammer that is obvious. It's built like a Black & Decker.
The next time you make a long-distance business call, think about this. Long distance is important to every business, and only one long-distance company can connect you with anyone, anywhere in the world. AT&T. We can custom design a network for you and help increase productivity and manage costs. That's enough to satisfy any business, even accounting. AT&T. We're what you call long distance.
Tuesday, Jack's misplaced letter.
May I help you?
It's a matter of life and death.
For whom? For you.
Three's Company. Then keep your body free.
Chest 37, waist 23. No change since 2:30.
The mating game will never be the same.
Get your frontal bodies in here.
Everybody's shaping up a very physical comedy.
I, for one, love it.
Shaping Up after Three's Company Tuesday, all starting at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
During the first week in April, the players of the United States Football League will once again vote on the certification.
Room on the outside and brings it all the way out to the 38. And so the New Jersey Generals now will start good field position as we look at the halftime statistics.
Ryan Seif is going to have to find the range and get his team moving probably more in the air. As you see that Houston really dominating this game, but the surprising stat you see there is time of possession. Houston having the ball 18 minutes and 31 seconds. That long drive near the end of the first half accounted for a good bit of it, even though they came away empty-handed.
What do you think, Linswan? Does New Jersey come out throwing, or do they just stay with their game plan at this point?
Roll the ball.
Sight back on first down. Gets it out to the outside to Sam Bowers, the tight end. And Bowers is knocked down by the linebacker, number 59, Andy Hawkins. He picked up about 7 yards up to the 45.
Sam Bowers sprained an ankle a couple of weeks ago and did not play much last week. He's starting here, but he's still a little bit tender. He's a big, strong tight end, and Brian Sipe, if you watched him play over the years in Cleveland, you know he likes to throw a lot to his tight ends.
Second down and 3. Just starting the second half of play. Walker in motion. Carthen, nothing doing. Carthen tells it down by number 77, Pete Caton, and Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62.
Well, New Jersey's got a real strong offensive line. Mostly young kids up there, but they played very well together. It's usually not until the fourth quarter that they start to wear people down, but here, Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, he just holds up Kent Hull, stuffs him right in the hole, and comes up with the tackle.
And it's third down and 3. McConaughey to the top of the picture. He and Collins are both up there. Clarence. Sipe will throw. Penalty flag. Over the middle. Pass intended for Walker. Off his hands and incomplete. And let's see about the flag.
I think you're going to see it's offensive. The defensive line just jumped a bit. They were offsides. It's going to go against Houston. It'll give New Jersey the first down by penalty.
Well, New Jersey hurt themselves in 2 possessions with penalties. And now Houston's hurt themselves to start the second half with a 5-yard penalty for offsides. That gives New Jersey its first down.
Offside, number 62 on the defense. First down.
Ball goes just over the 50, close to the 49.
That's all right, Tony. That's the worst thing you do in your career. You'll be a great one.
Sipe to throw it. Wants to go big with it. Goes to McConaughey. McConaughey runs into number 24, Calvin Eason. Or Will Lewis it is. Will Lewis. And the flag comes out in a hurry, and they're going to call it on Lewis.
Well, let's see what... Yeah, if they call it on Lewis, all right. I don't know. McConaughey, we've seen him do a little acting before in previous ball games. He gets in close. He's a smart receiver. He'll make contact with the defensive back, make sure he's in a position, if he can't get the ball, to try and get the call. That time, he did a real good job.
Now, here's the rule in the USFL that I like.
Pass interference, number 24 on the defense. That's an automatic first down.
It's an automatic first down, but it just simply does not come at the point of the foul. The ball is walked off for 10 yards.
That's right.
15 yards, excuse me.
The rule in National Football League is that the receiver, the offensive team, gets the ball where the infraction occurred downfield. And that's a lot of yards for a little mistake.
Oh, yeah, you bet. College the same way.
But I loved it.
34-yard line. Walker goes in motion. First down, New Jersey. And Sipe trying to throw out of the dust at second base. Swings it back to Carthen. And Maurice is slowed down, but then gets him rolling again and goes inside the 25 down to about the 23. Here's Mike Berry now with Jim LeClaire, one of the New Jersey linebackers who's been very busy chasing all those rabbits.
Jim, it's got to be kind of nice to have the offense on the field. The defense for you guys was on there the whole first half.
Well, we were out there quite a bit, but we didn't stop, and that's what counts. You know, they got those little short passes, kept their drives alive. We're going to have to get after them. They got a pretty good offense. We're going to have to get them to stop them.
Kelly is scrambling like crazy. What can you do to contain him?
Well, I don't know. We're going to have to just try to keep him in the pocket and get some good rush on him. But he's kept a lot of their drives alive with running out of that pocket. We've had good coverage downfield, then he runs out of the pocket and picks up first down. So we're going to have to get after him.
Herschel Walker moves it from the 23 down to the 20 as Ricky Young makes the tackle for Houston.
Ricky Young was holding on to that leg like it was a life preserver, and he was stuck out in the middle of the ocean.
You know, the Michigan Panthers have got to miss a guy like Ricky Young. Now, he was very prominent for them last year, and losing him in the expansion is quite a loss for them.
Oh, quite a loss for him, and I think really more of an opportunity for him to get out and do more of the things, play a little more consistently. He was behind Pennywell a lot during that season.
Second down and 7. They're using Walker in motion a lot today, and Sipe is back to throw. He's got Herschel over here, but goes to Bowers short, and Sam gets scissored by number 59 and 57, the Hawkins brothers.
Oh, the old brothers team up like it's a little street fight probably when they were growing up. Come out and lay one on Sam Bowers, but Sam Bowers has been hit harder than that in the past. Like we said, he's big, he's strong, he doesn't mind going across the middle, catching the ball, holding on to it, and taking the big hits.
It is 3rd down and 3 for New Jersey. The football is at the 17 of Houston. Houston leading 15-7. Sipe to throw it. Quick over the middle. Incomplete. Almost picked off. The ricocheted off Clarence Collins, and then Will Lewis had a chance to grab it, and neither man could hold it.
It is so important, Keith, when a quarterback reads that blitz, he's got a receiver coming inside on what we call a blitz control route. He reads it, he runs a short route. Now look, here's the blitz right here. You've got the linebacker coming in, or safety coming in, the 2 corners coming in off the corner. Sipe reads that. The receivers have a route to go.
34-yard field goal try now by Ruzek, who won the game for him last week from 38 yards. That was 1 out of 3 from that distance. He's got it high, he's got it long, and he's got it good. So the New Jersey Generals add 3, and it's now 15-10 ball game.
Let's go back again to that key play. Now the receiver has a specific route on a blitz to go into the open area. If he goes inside, he knows he's got man-to-man coverage, someone coming on him. He's going to take a hit. This time, he knows the ball is coming. He has it. He just lets him knock the ball out. Costly mistake. They still come away with the field goal, and we'll be back to see what happens.
It takes a lot of it.
A look at the injury to Calvin Eason. He got up and walked off the field, albeit with considerable wobble. He did walk off. Here's how he got hurt.
Right there. He's coming in. He's trying to lay a block.
Like Dwight Sullivan, and he bumped heads. Here comes Houston now from the 21st down. They lead by 5, 15-10. They go to Harrell. And Sam can't go anywhere. He gets it just over the 20. Number 56, Willie Harper, the 10-year veteran out of Nebraska, and the San Francisco 49ers made the stop.
We're talking about Willie Harper, and he seems to be very quiet, has been very quiet over the last 3 ball games. We haven't called his name for a lot of tackles, but what he's been doing is containing. He's been stretching out a lot of plays, letting the inside pursuit come up and make the tackles, closing plays down the outside. So although you may not see him on the top of the list as far as tackles are concerned, but he is a key man in turning the plays back inside so they don't get around the corner for the big gains.
Moser to the bottom of the picture. Johnson comes in motion, and Kelly to throw it. And the pass is off, and the pass is good to Moser, number 85. So Greg stretching all of his 6-foot frame, and the Oregon Duck makes the catch.
Moser at 6 feet is the only receiver that was tall enough to have that pass thrown to him and be able to make the catch. It was a good catch where he just stretched out all the way on the sideline, had his 2 feet planted firmly in bounds, came down with the catch.
The gain is outside the 35, so it's a first down for Houston. So they come out throwing. They test it up the middle with Harrell and then go right back to the passing game. Ricky Sanders in motion. Kelly's pass. It is good. Pass complete to Gerald McNeil. And that'll be good for a first down. A pickup of 12 yards up to the 47, 48.
Quick little route right in front of Mike Williams, number 29, the cornerback. See the linebacker drifting out to the outside. A low slant route. He makes the catch, and he takes the hit. He knows he's going to be hit. He knows the corner's right there. Williams thought he'd dropped the football, but Gerald McNeil, the little guy out of Baylor, gets credit for the catch.
They say Grant Taft says he's made out of barbed wire. First down, Houston. They're on 48. Roll left, pass to the sidelines. Pass is caught over there by number 13, Gerald McNeil. He's inside the New Jersey 40 at the 39 and another first down.
Right in front of Mike Williams again. And Gerald shows us not only can he run downfield, make the tough catch, but he also can get up in the air as he jumps over the bench when he was run out of bounds.
McNeil has now caught 3 for 59 yards. Calvin Eason, we're told, has a mild concussion. He may not come back.
Yes, and Dwight Sullivan was a mild train wreck coming downfield.
39 of New Jersey, first down, Gamblers. That's Richard Johnson coming at you, number 22, and Kelly down the middle with it. Pass is complete to Scott McGee out of Eastern Illinois. Another first down for Houston, and the ball will go to the New Jersey 22.
That looked pretty simple for McGee. It looks like man-to-man coverage. You see Barbaro in the center. Everybody's running out. The middle is wide open. You saw Leclerc go out covering a receiver. Williams comes across against McGee, and it's too late. You see Barbaro, he's reading. Kelly's not giving him a read. He's not looking right at his receiver. If Kelly would have eyeballed McGee all the way across the field, Barbaro could play short, get a jump on it, and pick it off. Kelly's doing a good job.
First down inside the 22, call it the 21, and hand it off to Harrell, who is hit right at the line of scrimmage by Lynn Madsen. 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. New Jersey getting a field goal to start the half, and now Houston trying to answer that. Tampa Bay Bandits and Denver Gold are locked up in a pretty good football game. Denver out on top now, 23-21. John Reeves, 85 yards to Gillespie. Whew. That is a big play.
That is. Speaking of big plays, Walt Michaels and would like to see his defense come up with one right now because Houston's knocking on the door again.
I thought you meant her. Kelly Rose. Kelly's in trouble. They've got him back at the 25. And again, it's the outside pressure, that time from number 90, Freddie Gilbert. Big rookie end out of the University of Georgia.
Yeah, Freddie Gilbert did a great job. Take a look at him right up here at the top of the screen. Now, he's going to get blocked to the outside. Kelly's going to have pretty good time here, but as he gets pushed to the outside, Kelly starts to run. He's able to come right back inside and make the tackle. Keep him from sprinting to the outside, picking up those valuable yards. So as Jim Leclerc said, they want to contain Kelly, keep him from getting to the outside, and that time Gilbert accomplished it.
So the ball sits down on the 25 for its third down at about 14. Little quick pop to McGee, cutting it back inside, gets some screen help, takes it up and touchdown. That's the second time they've tried to play. This time it works.
25 yards on the score. The first time they tried it, they were back way up in their own end zone. The kind of play the defense has to look for. Now watch as his blocking sets up. They wait. They don't take off right away. They don't show screen. He's got no blocking now. He runs to his blocking, looking for an alley. He takes it. Now you turn on the Jets. It's a foot race. This kid runs a 4.4 in a 40-yard dash, and there's no way Johnson's going to catch up to him.
And so Houston has answered. And Tony Fritsch is in for the extra point try out of Moser's hole. Trying to make it 22-10 at 5:56 to go in the third quarter. And he does just that. So the venerable gentleman from Vienna is having an interesting afternoon for himself as the Houston Cougars, with a crowd that looks like it might be about 30,000, enjoying themselves.
Blocking is always a key on the screen like this. Now watch Butcher as he comes out. Look at Barbaro right there. There's the hit that frees him up. Almost looks like a clip, but Fisher doesn't call it. Now it's a sprint to the end zone. The Houston Gamblers, ball control with the pass, now coming up with a big play and a touchdown. Again, take a commanding lead.
You've never seen...
Houston Gamblers are giving the New Jersey Generals all they want.
And a lot more. So far, it's more than they can handle.
Here's the kickoff by Dale Walters. Dwight Sullivan at the 8 to about the 25. Yeah, here's Mike Berry with Big Jim Kelly.
Jim, you're not having any trouble at all moving the ball against that tough New Jersey defense.
Well, they're playing tough. They're hitters, and they're coming with some stunts, but our line's picking it up, and our receivers catching the ball. I can't ask for any more.
You've had a good, solid offense all season long. A lot of people didn't think you'd do it today.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good, but the big thing is we have to keep it up because it is a tough offense. We just have to keep learning.
You've been talking loud. We'll have to get that voice back in shape upstairs.
All right, quite a day for the big fella from Pennsylvania via Miami. Here's Brian Sipe back after the fake to Walker. Goes down the middle. Got a man wide open. Clarence Collins. Collins is across midfield and dropped at the Houston 48.
Clarence Collins running a deep crossing route all the way across the field is brought down by the free safety, number 23, Donald Dykes. He had a lot of help from Tom McConaughey, number 86, who at the bottom of the screen ran down the sideline in the post route, took the corner and the safety back with him, allowed that zone to open up so that Collins could come across and make the catch.
So they come up with a big play of 27 yards on that. Collins is out now. Marcus Hackett in. You saw Collins go to get his shoulder pads tied back together. And it's first down, New Jersey. Walker with the ball. A couple of yards. Make it 1 yard to the 47. And Andy Hawkins leading the defensive surge, along with number 78, Cleveland Crosby. Herschel on the afternoon now, 10 carries and 26 yards.
Houston now has 4 down linemen in. They bring in number 70. Tony Fitzpatrick came back in the ball game. Number 75 is playing alongside him is Charlie Davis. Played in Pittsburgh for a couple of years on the St. Louis.
Charlie's got a very sore right hand. Second down and 9, and Collins is back in. Sipe back to throw it. Gets it out, trying to set up a screen, and they read it well, and Kiki Diala leveled Maurice Curtin.
Ooh. Leave no doubt about it. Kiki came in and said, "You're my target, and I've got a beat on you. You're going down." He had Cawthon in a very vulnerable position where he didn't have any steam going for him. He was just standing there, was up in the air a little bit trying to make the catch on the screen. He read the screen extremely well. A good rush. Knocked him square on his back.
Kiki, of course, a prominent member for 4 years of the great team at Fred Akers down at UT. Loss on the play of about 8 yards. And Sipe back to throw on 3rd and 18. Gets it off, and it's Bowers, and it is incomplete. Sam drew a crowd.
I want to tell you something. The secondary of this is very young. That was number 32, JoJo Heath, who played last week and was really picked on by Vince Evans in that ball game. But this secondary has a great advantage because they have a coach, Pat Thomas. You might remember him. He was a cornerback for the Los Angeles Rams for many years. He is a small cornerback.
Here's the punt by Bob Drupp. It's a mile high, and Gerald McNeil dancing around in front. The fair catch is called by Ricky Sanders, and Sanders will control the football down around the 10. In the third quarter, the Houston Gamblers have the football, first down at their own 9. They lead 22-10 over the New Jersey Generals. Last time they had the ball, they went 8 plays, 80 yards for a touchdown. That's Johnson in motion, and Kelly to throw. Gets it off down the sidelines, and the pass is thrown out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, that time they were really trying to set up the big play, Keith. He had number 85, Greg Moser, come downfield and run a hook and go pattern inside. He gets set. He thinks he can take advantage of this hook. Go. You see Richard Johnson going in motion there. And he runs a hook and go route. They read it. Now Johnson is running the auxiliary route down the sideline. If they all bite on the hook and go and converge on that, he'd be wide open on the sideline. They didn't. They were in a good, deep zone coverage. The play just didn't work.
And it's second down and 10 from the 9. It's Kelly. And he's up across the 15 to the 17, where John Joyce, out of Colgate, who is playing at linebacker right now for New Jersey, replacing Bob Horn, who was shaken up in the kickoff play a little while ago.
But they're getting a little more pressure on Kelly when he drops straight back. They don't have to worry about him rushing. He gets some running room there. He has a chance to go. You see Leclerc coming up once he sees him cross the line of scrimmage, trying to make the tackle. Didn't pick up the first down, but he's about a yard or yard and a half short.
Third down. Kelly's the leading rusher in the game, 40 yards. Pass is complete to Gerald McNeil. And he's going to have a first down, I believe. He will.
There was a whole lot of jostling going over there on that sideline.
Maybe it wasn't complete.
When that ball was thrown. Receivers were getting knocked around. The ball was in the air. I couldn't see who hit who. I
heard an early whistle, too.
Being hit, and the whistle was blown fairly early. Now, you can't see the receivers just yet, but...
Oh, it's ineligible man downfield.
You see right there, he's blocking. Receiver just got hit, downfield turned up. Who is the ineligible receiver downfield? Must have been the lineman somewhere on the inside.
Because there was a whistle before the catch.
Touching. Number 22 on the offense went out of bounds, came back, touched the ball, stepped the loss of down. It'll be fourth down.
Now I see what it is. It's illegal touching of the... He went outside and then came back in.
That's why we gave those officials a microphone so they could tell us when we're confused up here.
It helps. Dale Walters now in for his fourth punt. He's had 51, 43, and 50. He's got to hit this one out around his goal line, standing in his end zone. They had one high snap, but he was able to get it off for 43 yards. The low snap this time. Kick is out. And a penalty flag thrown way back upfield as the ball is accepted by New Jersey's Mike Williams and run back upfield. But the whistles now have blown it dead, and that flag came out of the back judge way back up the field.
I don't know what he was looking at. There's no one back there except for the man returning the punt, and the ball hadn't even come down to him.
What about some holding up on the line of scrimmage by the receiving team?
There is no flag on the play. First down.
So they pick up the flag. But now what about the return by Williams?
He stepped out of bounds at the 48-yard line, so the ball will be marked there.
So New Jersey will be on the Houston side of the field. First down for the Generals, the ball just inside the Houston 49. Davis on the sidelines. Go back to the play now on the completed pass, number 22. You see Johnson will go out off the field of play. McNeil off the field of play, I guess it is. Yes, McNeil. He disappears over there. You can't even see him behind.
Behind Williams, that's how small he is, but he is ineligible, and if he catches the ball, it's a penalty and a loss of down.
Now the Houston defense about to be tested. New Jersey first down at the Gamblers 49. Houston leading 22-10 and Sipe to throw. He's got Collins, and it is intercepted by Kiki Diala. And Diala brings the ball back to the 47, and Houston has it right back as they intercept Brian Sipe for the second time.
Another critical turnover. I started to talk. Diala's playing linebacker for them. I started telling you earlier about the secondary and their advantage of a coach like Pat Thomas, who played as a small player all of his life. His strong points are that he was technically sound. He found the ways to get around his height and play the game, a smart game of football. And I think that's what he's teaching these people at the secondary on pass coverage. Don't worry about your size. Always be in position to make the play, come up and play physical football, punish people. Right, that time, Diala was in perfect position from his linebacker position, getting to the outside, got underneath the receiver, a low pass by Sipe, big turnover.
He changed his mind at the last second. He had Collins for a moment, and he changed his mind and went to McConaughey, and Diala stepped in front for the interception, and Houston first down at its 47, and Jim Kelly rolls it left and goes big with it down the middle for Richard Johnson, and it is almost intercepted by Mike Williams and then almost recepted by Richard Johnson.
If Johnson had caught that pass after the tip, again, another great memory for a Houston player. You see right here, Mike Williams has a chance to catch it. The ball's thrown deep, It's just high. It's hanging up there. He's got a chance to play it. He really should have caught it, but the ball just went right through his hands. Johnson was coming in to try and break it up, so he was not even prepared for a pass to be deflected off the helmet and hands of Williams to be caught.
Point being, Johnson's speed, however, had him open.
Oh, he was behind him. He was a good 4 yards behind him, but the ball was just a little short. Unlike a Jim Kelly pass, too.
Sideline. Pass is complete to Greg Moser. That's about the third time that play has worked. And once again, it's just enough for the first down.
I think they bring Moser in just to stretch out the sideline. That was another good catch.
He poses well, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
37-yard line of New Jersey, first down.
He even has hair hanging out of the back of his helmet like one of the old great ones, Fred Biletnikoff.
Yeah.
Looks a little thin, too. I wonder how it is on top.
I don't know. McGee comes to the right side of your picture as you look from the end zone. Number 88 now, down at the bottom. And Kelly back. He's going for, no, he didn't get the ball there. He got some pressure that time and looked like he was hit just about the time he released it. Looked like he wanted to go for the corner and Ricky Sanders.
He wanted to, but he couldn't because number 72, Lynn Madsen, was just all in his face. Madsen's fighting hard, coming right up through the middle, and just as he releases, gets the arm up to throw, Madsen's in, and he just didn't have any follow-through as he was hit.
That's how quarterbacks break hands.
That's how they break hands. That's also how they get broken ribs.
Yep.
Completely exposed.
That hand comes down on that helmet. Total yards, you can see, it's all Houston. But fundamentally because of the passing. Sam hasn't seen it for one time here in the second half. He got a yard. Burrell blocking. Kelly's pass is down the corner. Go! Oh, he had it in his hand. Scott McGee. And Mike Williams reached up and just tipped it a little bit.
Give me that 88 back. Oh, Scott had a chance to make the big catch there. And you won't have to worry about a coach saying anything to him because the coach knows how bad he feels. Look at the foot speed here. He's just constantly, consistently pulling away from Williams. They've been picking on him all day. He's got the catch right there. Just did not bring it in.
Can you throw it any better than that?
You can't throw it any better. Full stride, right on target. He should have had it. He knows it.
Third down.
The important thing for him now is not to get down about it.
3rd and 10. Kelly gets it off for McNeil. He's got it. And he's down to the 20. Oh, they were all over Kelly. And we told you he's 6'3", 215. Madsen was back there scuffling with him. But he's just too strong.
It was just too strong. He's running out of the grass. But look at him. He's constantly looking downfield. He knows he's got pressure. He fights the pressure. His head never goes down. He's still looking. Who does he find? Gerald McNeil, the little guy out of Baylor. I saw him play against Texas Tech. He made some great catches there. Small guy, but he's strong for 140 pounds.
1 quarter to go. And we'll continue after this message on the word from our local station. New Jersey 10. Today's game being brought to you by Gillette After Razor, the twin blade razor that pivots for a close, comfortable shave. And by Castrol, motor oil engineered for today's smaller, higher revving cars. It is Houston's football. First down at the New Jersey 20. Jim Kelly is 6 out of 7 for 4 first downs in passing. He has run 3 times for 32 yards, and each one of those runs produced a first down. So he's been the man for Houston. That's Ricky Sanders in motion. Sam Hurrell. Sam Hurrell to the 5. First and goal, Houston, brought down by Gary Barbaro.
Taking the handoff, he went all the way into the secondary before there was someone to bring him down. The entire defense still king, and rightfully so. The pass makes things happen for number 29, Sam Hurrell. Just a straight handoff.
Talk about the offensive line being a weakness of this Houston ball club.
Well, the offensive line is very small. They're not real big. And their coach felt that, these guys aren't very quick-footed either.
Inside, Harrell again to the 4.
So what they've done is their coach has them on a weightlifting program to get the guys bigger and stronger for pass protection. And then when you start to pass, spread out that team, spread out the defensive line and the rush, and that creates a big hole. So it's a combination of the pass that makes that offensive line work. As we take a look at the third quarter stats, we see it's all Houston. Time of possession, total yards coming into the ball game, they're averaging 395 yards on total offense. And just look at the poor output of the New Jersey team.
Last time they were down here, Kelly was intercepted at the close of the first half. On the first and goal play, they ran it. It's second and goal from the 4. Kelly's pass looped into the corner for McGee, and McGee is held. Moser, it's Moser. It is Moser, number 85, and Kerry Justin gets the flag, and that should put it down for another series of 4 plays.
It is one of the toughest areas to cover man for man, to make contact. Such a quick pass being thrown. When the ball's in the air, you can't touch a receiver. There's contact made here, it's legal, but there, the ball is in the air. Now that's where the holding takes place. Just as he was turning the corner.
When he stuck his hand out.
He stuck his hand out.
23 on the defense. That's an automatic first down.
Stuck his hand out, tried to stop him from going around him. They pick up the penalty.
So it's first and goal for Houston at the New Jersey 2. Houston is leading 22-10. 7 more is going to make it a big mountain for the Generals to climb in this final quarter with 13 and a half minutes to play. Harrell trying to find the goal line, and he can't quite get there. He's very close. Jim LeClaire is the man that kept him out.
He took the hand off, and he started to go to the outside, but Gary Barbaro came up on the outside, forced it all in. Jim LeClaire was standing there waiting for him. But yet, Sam Harrell, excuse me, used to be Harrell, for the Dodge Harrell.
Second down and goal from the 1. And Kelly asking the crowd to help him a little. Harrell is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Dealt it by Tom Woodland, the nose guard.
Tom Woodland just fired off the line of scrimmage, got through, made the tackle before Sam could even get his bearings on just where he wanted to go. Let's take a look. He's on the left side. You see him shoot right through there in the gap between the center and the guard. Comes through on his knees, but his hands are all around Sam Harrell, and he brings him down.
Now they come back with the little guys, the wide receivers.
Spread them out.
Third and goal. Kelly gets it off, tipped in the air, incomplete. Good work that time by the New Jersey secondary people. They covered it well.
That time they played about as well as you could play it. Number 50, Bob Horn, coming off. He was hurt a little bit in that collision on a kickoff return, but he's back in the ball game now. Kelly does a good job scrambling. He sees some open room. He starts to take it. Then he thinks he has someone in there. And Bob Horn goes up in the air and tips it. There's contact right there between Justin and McGee, but the ball was tipped. No pass interference. Good play by Bobby Horn.
Tony Fritsch now can play another major role in this ball game. He can give Houston a 15-point lead with a 20-yard field goal. It's good. So, Tony Fritsch adds 3, and it's 25-10. Houston by 15 with 11:50 to play.
Dodge Omni's always been economical. It's automatic transmission.
Anderson from Arkansas. That's a tough tandem back there in Tampa.
Ryan Seif now brings him out. He's been intercepted twice in the ball game, and he's going to put it up on first down. Has some time. It is picked off again by Will Lewis. He's on his way. He's got a touchdown.
Hello to all the folks at Millersville from Will Lewis.
Will's second touchdown. The first one he was kept out of the end zone by a yard, but this one from 34, he takes it home. Brian Sipe, coming off knee surgery after a 2-week layoff, is picked off for the third time.
He's got a simple little out route. He starts to go downfield. Just too much time where he's staring the receiver down. Willis has just a chance to come in. McConaughey outstretched. When you try and throw the out route on the sideline, the fast defensive back gets it. Most every time he can go the distance.
Rich for the extra point. It's good. With 11 minutes and 22 seconds to play, it's very still in that box as Houston leads 31-10.
Working hard when the pressure's on could mean perspiration odor. Right Guard Roll-On helps stop wetness better than the leading roll-on as it kills the bacteria that can cause perspiration odor.
Introducing new Gillette Foamy Gel. The gel that gives you more than any other gel. More lubricants. Better beard setup. More lubricants. Smooth takeoff. More lubricants. For the closeness and comfort you want in a shave, get new Gillette Foamy Gel. The gel that gives you more.
Stock cars best in a high-speed challenge, including two-time defending champ Cale Yarborough, the Atlanta 500, plus All-America Tam Thacker in NCAA wrestling action on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday.
Keeps on pounding, and he comes up field to where? About 30, looks like the 32 or 3. He hit the chalk back on the 25. The Atlanta 500 and the NCAA Wrestling Championships coming up next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. 1.5-mile oval in Atlanta, the Atlanta Raceway, and they'll go round and round. I love those 1.5-mile ovals because they're just big enough to give you tremendous speed. They're just small enough to keep the field compact. And they turn it on every year at the Atlanta 500. And here comes Herschel Walker with his biggest gain of the day as he hopped and skipped up the middle. Juked a couple of tacklers and runs for a first down out to the 37, where Donald Dykes and JoJo Heath finally brought him down. You know, in looking at the restructuring following expansion, when you looked at the Western Conference, as New Jersey goes without a huddle, up to the line of scrimmage, Sipe on first down, throws it hard and hits Walker. And they'll mark him up at the 42. But it looked like when the Chicago Blitz, the Houston Gamblers, Oklahoma Outlaws, and San Antonio Gunslingers were all put in that same division with the Michigan Panthers. It looked like Michigan ought to walk home. Doesn't look like that now. Quick pop out here to Clarence Collins for a first down up at about the 49. And so New Jersey moving the ball with 10:05 to play.
Well, it looks like Houston just took a page out of the Michigan Panthers playbook, went after some small, very fast, and sure-handed receivers to kind of open up the secondaries and put this game out of reach once the ball starts flying in the air, and it's been successful.
Carthen is out, Harmon is in. We've had problem with Mike Barra's microphone. Otherwise, we would have certainly talked to Will Lewis. Here goes Brian Sipe, back to throw. Throws it short down the middle for Walker, who bounces up and then is brought down on the Houston side of the field at about the 41.
Very close to a first down, but I think he just might be short by a half yard.
Houston defense now being rolled here by the 2-minute offense of New Jersey. No huddles. They're just coming up and snapping and moving it. Second down and very, very short. Sipe pumps for deep, goes deep. Collins over there. He caught it.
It's a catch.
But he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds, they say.
I thought for sure Clarence Collins had got both feet in there. He was hit by number 23, Donald Dykes. It looked like he was able to make the catch and get one foot in. We'll take a look at it on the replay.
2 feet.
from the end zone camera. Sipe pumps fake to draw the coverage up. We see Clarence going down. There's one. Oh, he's in the air. I call it a good catch.
It's Walker, and Herschel's got the first down.
He looked like he had both feet in bounds. A little scuffle. His temper starts to flare there.
He gets a penalty flag in the air. Now let's see who it's going to be nailed on.
Number 58, Ken Hull, the center, was involved, and number 57, Mike Hawkins. While they sort that out, Keith, you know, it looked like he got both feet in bounds on the play, but he was also hit as he was knocked out of bounds. That should be a legal catch, because if he wasn't hit, he would have been in bounds right there.
I think 1 foot touch. The penalty is going to go against Houston.
It's a tough play, but the official is in perfect position to make the call. You see him right there.
On the defense.
He's got the ball.
Foul, cancel.
1, 2, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds. Keith, it's got to be a catch. Costly mistake by the official. Costly to New Jersey.
But they get a personal foul call here, and it's first down. The ball is at the 38 of Houston. And Sipe, getting pressure, steps away from it. He's going to run with that sore leg. And he finally steps out of bounds. New Jersey wants a call for their quarterback being shoved as he was out of bounds, but they don't get that. Andy Hawkins coming across, and the Generals now marching on down the field.
Oh, Brian Sipe trying to get something going here, and Saul's receivers covered. Well, that's a close call. Quarterback's running out of bounds. He is not hit viciously, but they don't even want to see too much of the pushing once he gets to that sideline.
On the 21 of Houston, first down, New Jersey. 32-10, Houston leads. That's Harmon with the ball to the outside. And he gets a little high-low treatment. Will Lewis, one of those that hit him. He picked up 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6, and New Jersey continues to go without a huddle.
Well, what that allows him to do is it stops the defense from getting in the 5th defensive back and changing the formation, changing the coverage. Now they can go at it with a passing attack without the extra back in there.
Sipe on a deep drop with no pressure. Throws it out to Harmon. And Clarence Harmon is knocked out of bounds by JoJo Heath, but he's going to have a first and goal for New Jersey at the Houston 7.
Well, the strategy seems to be paying off extremely well. They're playing the 2-minute offense. They started it with 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Now consume about 2 minutes of time on this drive, and they take their first huddle.
Still 22 points is a lot. Touchdown will make it 15. 8:02 to play in the game. Sipe back. Goes down the middle. Collins, touchdown.
There were 3 defensive players who were covering tight end. Number 81, Jeff Speck, as Collins comes underneath them to make the catch. Watch the play of the linebackers. They're all dropping back. He cuts right there under Hawkins. The ball is thrown. No one is there to cover him. Linebacker should have been there.
They're going to go for 2. Collins now has 6 catches for 66 yards. That's his biggest day.
That's a very good day.
7:57 to play in the ball game. They're going for 2. Got to make it 32-18. 2 touchdowns. They'd have a chance to win it on the 2-point conversion. Sipe back. Throws to Walker. There it is. It is now Houston 32 and the New Jersey Generals 18. But time is on the side of Houston. They have 7:57 to play in the football game and a 14-point lead.
Just take a quick look at it. Walker's just running underneath Bowers. It's a little pick. He's wide open as he scrape off the linebacker coverage. Easy play into the end zone for a touchdown. But it's a long way to go to make up the difference. We'll be right back.
You know people like me. We're young, ambitious. These are the uniforms we wear at work. But these are the uniforms we wear when we serve part-time in the National Guard and the Reserves. You see, in the Guard and Reserves, you earn extra money. So you not only serve your country, you serve yourself. Yet while you serve, you can live at home and keep your full-time job. Because in the Guard and Reserves, you don't have to give up one life to live another.
The National Guard and the Reserves. Talk to your local recruiter.
Off-road racing. To be a winner, you've got to go beyond just plain tough. And year after year, Walker Evans and Dodge Ram 150, Rod Hall and Dodge Power Ram 150 are consistent winners. Over the past 6 years, in over 65 major sanctioned off-road events, Ram Tough Dodge trucks have beaten the best the world could send against them. That record says it all.
Hi, I'm Lee Iacocca. My parents, and maybe yours, were among the millions who passed through Ellis Island on their way to a better life.
By New Jersey, going most of the way without a huddle, and right now Houston is expecting onside kick. They've got all the receivers and backs up in the middle of the field.
I think you'll just try and loop it over those guys, use your outside speed to get underneath the Keith, and try and make the catch before Houston can, if they go for it.
No, they hit it away, and it's a spinner. High bounce, Ricky Sanders, 9-yard line. And Sanders is thrown out of bounds at the 22, the penalty flag. It's sailing into the air. Might be a late hit.
There were players who were trying to run downfield and strip the ball away, but they didn't have a chance. Actually, if I had gone back there, Keith, I would have caught it. Instead of going out of bounds, I would have hit the ground, trying to keep the clock rolling.
Yep. But then you wouldn't have gotten the personal foul.
That's right. You see right there, they grab him. They're trying to strip the ball away.
Personal foul, number 47, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team. First down.
John Joyce.
Oh, John wouldn't call it unnecessary, maybe a little roughness. Yeah.
Intent, I think, was involved in that call versus the one we saw earlier, plus the fact there were more out of bounds. In fact, that hit came after the whistle. Houston has been flagged more than New Jersey today. New Jersey hasn't normally been making mistakes. But today, Sipes been intercepted 3 times, and they're trailing 32-18 with 7:44 to play in the ball game. And Houston working from the 37. Jim Kelly gets it off short, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Richard Johnson.
John Preston had a chance to, or thought he had a chance to pick it off. The ball was thrown, and he was able to get a hand on it. He was just happy to knock it down. And the Philadelphia Stars have come back in the 4th quarter, scored 28-7 over the Oakland Invaders. You've seen it. He's a tough kid. We've seen him behind many times in the past. He never gives up. Just gets a little more serious, a little more intent on the ball game and what he has to do. Good leader in that young man.
2nd down and 10 for Houston. Kelly gives it to Harrell, and Harrell is a hard man to get a handle on. He picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. Now we've got Mike Barry's microphone fixed. Here he is with Tom McConaughey.
Tom, you're 2 touchdowns behind. You're within striking distance. You got to go to that hurry-up offense now.
That's right. That's what we plan on doing.
Do you feel confident in it now?
Yeah, we've worked on it quite a bit, and that's what we've got to get 2 scores on the board, and that's the only way to do it. So,
back up to you.
Ball is sitting at the 44 of Houston, where it is 3rd down and 3. Harrell got 7. They're blitzing. The pass is away. The pass is caught for a first down at the New Jersey 40 by Greg Moser.
And the clock continues to roll. I thought they would have gotten out. They would have called that one out of bounds to stop the clock, but he hit the ground on the playing field. Some contact was made, and the clock still rolling. So they get the first down. They're still leading up the clock, and they could go in for another score.
They could. 6:15 to play. Kelly now is 7 out of 8 on 3rd down conversion for 5 first downs. That's a winning percentage.
That is a great statistic right there.
Ball is just short of the 40, where it's first down for the Gamblers. Farrell. And a penalty flag. Look out holding right here. Tom Woodland, yep, made the tackle.
Number 51, Carl Allen's the center for the Houston Gamblers. And on that particular play, he kind of walked back like he might have done something wrong. Hands on his hip, kind of disgusted with himself a little bit. You see him, doesn't want to look back. Am I right?
Holding the offense, number 51, first down.
Yep.
Boy, sometimes that long walk tells the story.
Especially with your pals all glaring at you.
Really. You see him there going up against Tom Woodland. He's a tough man to go against. He's got that jersey in his hand, just holding on a little bit. Woodland still makes a tackle. That's probably why he's upset.
So the ball backs up across midfield, where it is first down and 20 for the Gamblers. And Kelly's going to keep on throwing. Going to get sacked is what he's going to do back on the 38. And that time it's James Lockett that got the big Houston quarterback. 4th sack of the ball game.
Well, that makes a total of 14. He was sacked 10 times coming into today's game. When you pass that much, you have to expect to go down from time to time. Jim Kelly doesn't seem at all too bothered by it. It's almost like a running play. It just keeps the clock going. And his passing offense, it's kind of tough to eat up the clock.
It is. Well, let's see. They're back on the 39 now. It'll be second down and 31. There's that little screen inside for Gerald McNeil, and making the play is Freddie Gilbert, number 90. So that'll bring up 3rd and long, and we kick in for a moment with Jim Lampley of New York.
The Pittsburgh Maulers are the team which is going to finally get a win in their column after a Tony Lee field goal had given them a 10-7 lead. Reggie Collier was trying to bring the Federals back, and this Jeff Delaney 50-yard interception return has apparently iced a victory for the Maulers.
Martin comes back to play with the Maulers and comes up with a big play for them as Harrell carries here for Houston, gets about 3, and that will bring up 4th down and bring Dale Walters into the game. At 4:10 to play in the football game, New Jersey gets the ball back if they handle it on this punt.
Number 1, Dale Walters has been an important factor in this ball game.
Certainly has. He backed them up to the 12 and the 13 in the first half.
And taking in a bad snap that he could have lost, and no one would have faulted him for it. He made a great punt, so he's kept the New Jersey Generals backed up, giving his team great field position throughout the day.
4:04 to play in the game. Timeout.
Today, competition is tougher than ever. With thousands of new businesses opening their doors, you have to be smarter and faster than the people down the street. You have to have smarter ways to improve your cash flow, smarter ways to manage your inventory,
We'll ship it by air.
smarter ways to get your customers to come back.
Just use our 800 number.
Like combining AT&T 800 service with AT&T Watts. By tailoring the most powerful communications network in the world to your business, you can handle the competition, wherever it comes from. Just think of us in ways you never thought of. AT&T Communications.
Stock cars best in a high-speed challenge, including 2-time defending champ Cale Yarborough, the Atlanta 500, plus All-America Tam Thacker in NCAA wrestling action on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday.
Walters in to kick now. Williams deep to receive. New Jersey will get the ball back with 2 timeouts. They just spent one there. Walters before today's game averaging, another high snap. Penalty flag, and Walters runs out of there with it. And he's going to be belted down back on the 44, and there's a penalty flag. I think it's going to be against Houston. Looks, I mean, he had people in front of him, but couldn't he have kicked it? It's against Houston, and here's a break for the New Jersey Generals.
Now, let's see. How many points behind are they?
14.
14 points behind.
Offside on the offense. Decline. First down.
Now, if they can score quickly, do you go for 2 and try and get 16? Or on the first one, do you go for 1, get the 7, then come back and try and get 2 on the next play?
I'd go for 7 because if necessary, you could always go for the tie.
I'd go for 2. Figure you can always make it up if you lost.
First, they've got to get it in. It's just inside the 40. A big break as Houston miscues on the punt. And Sipes' pass is thrown to Harmon, and Harmon's going to get something out of it. Inside the 30, and he runs it to the 27. So the Houston defense now has been out there a long time. They are showing very clearly they're tired.
And of course, the New Jersey offense has not been on the field a lot this afternoon. They're relatively fresh. No offense, no huddle, and a 2-minute offense.
From the 27, first down. Sipes throws. Oh, boy. He's lucky to get that one back. Will Lewis was right there with Tom McConaughey.
The corners on this team, Will Lewis, number 24, 35, Mike Mitchell, both have good speed. McConaughey just can't drive him off the ball enough. It's a timing pass, but Sipes just threw it behind him. He couldn't get it too much in front of him because the safety, number 23, Donald Dykes, is also coming over. Lewis played it very, very well.
Second down and 10. There's the time remaining. Houston sitting on a 14-point lead. Fourth quarter has pretty well belonged to New Jersey. Houston's offside. Sipes trying to make a play out of it. Gets it off. It is intercepted by Will Lewis, but I don't think it's going to count.
If it's offsides against Houston, it's a free play for the offense. And if that's the case, Sipes was justified in taking the chance.
It's against Houston, offside. It looked like Brad Anai was one of those who moved. He's number 64, down there with the big guys. Yeah, clearly offside.
Looks like contact.
That's a mistake.
But the ball snapped, and the offense gets a free play.
Offside, number 64 on the defense, still second down.
The defense can't let down when something like that happens. You see a flag go, you know it's offside. Sometimes they have a tendency to let down, and then they get beat for the easy touchdown. The offense refuses the penalty.
It's second down and 5 from the 22 for New Jersey. 2:58 to play. It's Walker. And Herschel blowing him away to the goal line. They've stopped him at the 1 with a crowd of 35,532 watching.
I think that's probably the best play we've seen from Herschel today. This team has been behind most of the ball game with the exception of the first drive in which they scored the touchdown.
Walt Michaels just said there they're going to go for 1 if they score the touchdown. That's Herschel's longest run of the season right there, 21 yards.
Did you hear him say that?
I saw him talking to his offensive man, and he held up 1 finger.
He held up 1 finger?
First and goal.
Maybe a minute to go for the I-back.
Walker. There's the touchdown at 2:11 to play in the ball game. New Jersey will now close it to maybe 7, maybe 6. But I think they're going to kick it. And Ruzek is out there.
Well, nothing fancy here, just driving off the ball. Herschel Walker did all the work, getting him down here. Well, we'll do a little more work, punching it in for the touchdown. The last 3 ball games, whenever they get this close to the end zone, they always take Herschel out. This time they left him in, gave him a chance to score.
Big point right here. Barbaro to hold. It is good. And so, with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the football game, a 7-point difference now. It was 22.
Well, the stage is now set for more of the human drama of athletic competition. See if the New Jersey Generals can get an onside kick here. You know they've got to go for the onside kick this time.
Well, those are the games scheduled for next week. New Jersey will have Washington at home. And Houston will be playing here. And they'll be playing the Michigan Panthers here. That'll be a Monday night game. That won't be easy either. That's two toughies back-to-back, New Jersey and Michigan. We'll have one of those, we'll have two of those games in regional coverage next week here on ABC. But we look now and see Houston again sends out all the receivers up front, just in case Walt Michaels decides to go with an onside kick. Houston with 3 timeouts. That is not of any great importance at this juncture. What is important is that New Jersey has 2. But remember, the clock stops when the chains are moved on each first down in the final 2 minutes of the half.
A couple of birds circling inside the Astrodome.
Ruzek hits it away. A high hanging kick that Sanders goes back into the end zone and puts his knee down. And they'll come back to the 20 for the Houston Gamblers. And now there's a little heat on Jim Kelly and the Houston offensive people to sit on that ball for a while.
Well, if they're going to have to try and sit on it to run out the clock, that means Sam Harrell could figure prominently in this attack, or Jim Kelly, as he talks to Miles Davis there, may roll out and just hang on to the ball quite a bit, run out some time on this clock. But now the pressure lies on the defense. The defense has played well for them all year, but this now becomes the biggest stand or the biggest defense of the season.
I think if they get conservative here, Lynn Swan, they lose the ball.
So they can't get conservative. Their offense isn't geared for being conservative. But it also opens up the possibility for turnovers and a mistake.
There's Harrell, and he gets a yard. All right, that's 1.
On the conservative side.
And timeout. The 2-minute warning. So that, in effect, New Jersey, with a 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts, they have a total of 3 to work with under these circumstances.
You can't build a bike for the Olympics by machine. Each tube's got to be custom fit to transfer weight into forward momentum. After all, a champion should ride a champion.
To everyone who's working hard for America's Olympic effort, this Bud's for you.
There's more for your life.
Last year, while you were deciding which home computer to take home, Sears bolted on more than 1 million mufflers. While you were trying on the latest Gulagong activewear, Sears sold over 9 million tires. And while you were checking out Sears' open home collection, we replaced more batteries than anyone else in America. So next time you drive over to Sears, drive right in. We install confidence.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Coming up later, Sam Donaldson wraps up the Democratic political campaign on ABC World News Sunday edition. Going into the big Tuesday primary in Illinois, Ray Gandolf will have a visit with the Baltimore Orioles catcher Rick Dempsey. Well, you've got 2 minutes to play, a 7-point lead for Houston as their defensive people have become permissive in the final quarter. New Jersey has started to roll it. And only a 7-point difference. It's 2nd down and about 8 for Houston on their own 22. You figure they've got to throw the ball, and they will here. There it is, first down, Richard Johnson.
They have run that play consistently all afternoon. No one has been able to stop Richard Johnson from coming out from the slot position and making the catch. He gets on the sideline, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. More importantly, it's a first down. This time he doesn't go in motion, he just comes in, breaks to the outside, pushing off on the defensive back, Preston, making the catch, building up a little cushion as he pushes off.
First down up on the 33. Johnson 6 catches, 50 yards. And this is Harrell. And Harrell fights his way in there for about 5. They'll mark him up near the 36-37. New Jersey's going to have to spend the timeout here. And that stops the clock at 1:45 to play in the football game. Atlanta 500 and the NCAA Wrestling Championships next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, 5 Eastern, 4 Central.
Now, the only way I could have been the wrestler, Keith, is to soak myself in baby oil before every match so the guy couldn't hang on to me.
Guys are tough, I'll tell you that. Dan Gable's bunch from Iowa have really been something over the last few years. New Jersey now with one timeout remaining. The Generals came in undefeated, having won their first 3. And Houston had Tampa Bay backed up against the wall down in Tampa Bay in the opening game of the season, but they lost on a foul call that resulted in Tampa Bay retaining the ball and scoring a touchdown to win 20-17. And they have defeated San Antonio, and they defeated Chicago in a big shootout where 81 points were scored in the game. Now here they are trying to hang on and upset the New Jersey Generals. It's a 32-25 ball game with 1:45 to play.
Yesterday when I talked to defensive coordinator Jim Eddy, he said if their defense, the Houston defense, can hold New Jersey to 28 points or less, he felt his team would score enough points to beat us. Right now they're 3-point shy at 28, so he might be right.
Yep. That's Sanders in motion. New Jersey showing blitz. Kelly looked like he's checking off. Keeps it on a bootleg and turns it inside. Jim Kelly. He's got a first down at the 37-yard line of New Jersey. Oh, boy.
And we can see the smile from here on Jim Kelly's face. That, pure and simple, was an option run play. It was like a veer option play. Callum in the blitz, but he only had one back to fake it to option 2. You saw the linebacker, number 56, come up. He couldn't give it to him. The linebacker was there. Willie Harper, he kept it himself, and he had all kinds of daylight to run the football.
He picked up 27 yards. He now has 67 yards rushing for the day.
Now watch Harper at the top of your screen, 56. He takes away Sam Harrell by going upfield, but he leaves the hole open. That's the man you option off of. You put the pressure on him. Now the cornerback down here, that's Kerry Justin. He's covering the receiver man for man. His back is turned, and he ran all the way down to the 30-yard line before he turned around to see Jim Kelly running downfield for a big first down.
You know that a man named Kelly has got to be part of the St. Patty's Day celebration in Houston. Well, yesterday, Kelly took the morning to become part of the St. Patrick's Day parade, which forced Coach Jack Pardee to have his practice in the afternoon. And what are you going to do? You're going to practice in the afternoon?
You're going to practice in the afternoon. Jim Kelly is in the parade. Of course, I had a chance to have dinner with him and a few drinks with him on Friday night, and he told me he was not going to celebrate too much of St. Patrick's Day in the traditional fashion.
To win this ball game, he will tonight. This is the biggest win that Houston could ever hope for.
Absolutely. A good test for him against a strong football team.
They now have 338 total yards, and Harrell bouncing to the outside loses his footing, and he is thrown down right along the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play, though, by Jim LeClaire. There's your time remaining. New Jersey with only one timeout. No, they don't have any more. They're out.
No timeouts left at all.
Crowd of 35,532 coming to the Astrodome to see it today. And it's been pretty exciting.
They say that the Houston Gamblers are the best kept secret in Houston. It's USFL's second year. They ought not keep it too much of a secret.
This is Harrell dancing around looking for something, and they won't give it to him. Play is blown dead. The ball popped out of there, and it was picked up by a New Jersey man, but it's all in vain. It'll come back. And you've got 39 seconds to play.
That was Mike Williams, number 29, who picked it up. Took a sprint all the way down into the end zone.
Well, what it did do, if nothing else, it forced him to stop the clock.
How about that?
How about a little penalty? Because old Michael's taking his time coming back. He's sort of sauntering back up the field.
Oh, they always stop the clock for receivers coming back to the huddle. Do the same thing for the defensive backs. It's a pretty smart move in his part, but...
It was, no question. But it's the first kind of thing I've ever heard you say about a defensive back.
That's not the first kind of thing. Pat Thomas, who's the defensive coach here, I said lots of nice things about him. Of course, he told me yesterday I was the only guy that caught 2 touchdown passes on him, so it's okay.
Yeah. Now the clock's rolling again, and Jim Kelly's taking his sweet time. Third down, and they'll snap it one the Houston Gamblers have upset the New Jersey Generals by a score of 32-25. How do you do, Mr. Kelly?
Oh, there's Walt Michaels going out to shake hands with a couple of players, I'm sure, to congratulate Jack Pardee. Donald Trump, his team is now 3-1. He's not real happy about it, but I'll tell you one thing, a lot better than what his team set out last year. Let's go down to Mike Berry right now with the winning quarterback, Jim Kelly.
He's got to say hi to my mom, so I haven't been able to in 5 years.
Jim Kelly, we're on the air right now live, and let me tell you, you had some kind of a game. You waited, Mr. Kelly, an extra day to do your St. Patty's Day celebrating.
Like again, congratulate our offensive line. They did a heck of a job. Our receivers caught great. What more can I ask? Our offense did good. Our defense rose to the occasion.
You told me yesterday, Jim, that you weren't going to run as much, and boy, you weren't afraid at all.
Well, you can't be. In our offense, it's a run and shoot. If it's not there, I got to do the running.
Jim Kelly, congratulations. Back upstairs now.
Great game for Jim Kelly, the big guy who came out of Pennsylvania. They wanted him to play linebacker, and they came to Miami, and now he's with the Houston Gamblers. So your final score here is 32-25, and here is Jim Lampley in New York.